At the bar radio here with Ace Hood. As you can see, he's already at the bar because he got some Ciroc. But I got to say, we just seen Ace Hood, and real genuine dude. I salute you. I salute you. Like, just your humble man and stuff. I appreciate that. We need artists like you. That's it. At the bar.
Yeah, at the bar radio.
Yeah. You already know this the king of Philly, man. At the bar radio, man. You already. Right.
Where to get lit at? You on your own. Just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act Gilligan on my vote, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my brody came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. Yeah. Alright.
Hey, Tuna, you made this?
I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act Gilligan on my vote, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my brody came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back.
Man. Whoa. What up? It's your man 151, CP3 in the building.
You know it.
We watching a hell of a football game right now.
Got the AFC Championship game going to half, going to overtime. Kansas City jumped out on a 21-3 lead. I figured the game was pretty much over. I took Kansas City after that miraculous comeback win last week in the divisional round. But Cincinnati had a couple of folks chime in on a couple of my posts, said that Cincinnati was a second half team and watched Joe Burrow, and he definitely stepped up, was able to score 18 unanswered, well 21 unanswered. So Kansas City just got the 3 points to tie the game with 3 seconds with no time left on the clock before it's overtime. They just had the coin toss. I missed who won, but this game is definitely going to come down to the wire. And you have the NFC Championship game, San Francisco versus the Rams. I'm going with the Rams, but got to get through this game. I only missed 2 games in the postseason so far. I'm trying to keep my record where it is, so we'll keep you updated on that. But it's been a very entertaining game until the 2 halves, and Joe Burrow has looked very impressive in his second year. Mahomes, his first half was ridiculous. Second half, Cincinnati made some adjustments, and they weren't able to contain Kansas City's offense. They were able to hold them to 3 points to end the regulation. But we're definitely going to see how this game pans out, because Cincinnati definitely is looking impressive. They had the momentum. I think Kansas City seized it with that drive to tie the game, depending on who got the ball first. We saw Kansas City do a walk-off overtime win last week, didn't give the ball back, and then scored a touchdown at the end of the game. And want to see what happens if that happens again this week for either team.
Man, so what do you have going to the Super Bowl?
My picks were Kansas City and the Rams going to the Super Bowl, and trying to see who won the coin toss, who's about to get the ball.
This has been a very exciting game of football. I ain't gonna lie.
Looks like Kansas City is getting the ball first, so we're going to see if Kansas City is going to try to do back-to-back walk-off wins in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. It's going to be very interesting. That last drive that took up the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter was very impressive. Had a bad play call and bad execution to hold them to a field goal. They get a chance to go down there and end it all right now. I believe Mahomes has it in his mind to end this game off. So since he doesn't need to get the ball back to even make it go back and forth. So I'll definitely keep you updated since Kansas City has the ball in the 25, starting overtime right now. Over through the screen to Robinson. They had it pretty well covered, but Robinson is the loser.
Yo, what's going on, Johnny? Our friend from New Zealand, Johnny's in the building. Yo, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, we always talk about you, man, and your talented family. We definitely play, some of your son and your daughter's music today. But we always enjoy when you come in. I don't know if you old enough to remember this. WKRP in Cincinnati. So the guy who played Johnny Fever passed away today.
Howard Hessman?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was just reported complications from colon surgery. But he passed away. That iconic character. Unfortunately, he passed away.
2022 been rough to start out.
Yeah, I know. 2022 has been a monster start now. Has been a real rough monster.
City, Mahomes going deep down the middle. Oh, that was picked off, deflected.
And Johnny just did some new music, man. I love it because he always sends, like, when he sees he always sends us music and stuff, man. You don't gotta beg or anything like that. And he supports the channel, he shares it. Yo, definitely good. We appreciate that. We're definitely gonna. Matter of fact, man, should we wait for Lady Anthony, or should we just go ahead and play it now?
Let's go ahead and play it. It's running back later on. We know it's gonna be hot. So
Oh man, definitely.
That was a hell of a turn. Hell of a play by the defender. Pass wanted to rebuild, got deflected, and the second guy there got the ball clean. Cincinnati with the ball on their 45, looking to walk off with any score, field goal or a touchdown.
That's from his son. Let's play this giant. I'm anxious. Starting this joint off with.
Ayy, I'ma pull up, let me slide out. So ride with me if you know you finna ride out. A side on me that I know you tryna find out. Beside on me, cause I'm gonna make you mine now. Ayy, I'ma pull up, let me slide out. So ride with me if you know you finna ride out. A side on me that I know you tryna find out. Beside on me, cause I'm gonna make you mine. Besides the bullshit in the past, and all the people that had said they love you, but ain't never had your back. Girl, I'm tryna understand. It's being fake, something that this generation taking as a trend. Baby, I'ma show you I'll be there to the end. I said, whether we broke or rich or whether we together or just friends, I'ma show you what it means, I'ma show you what it's like. I'ma show you that our dreams and our reaching in our sight. Know that everything ain't perfect and we still gon' have our fight, but shit is fine, only difference is the way we view inside. You're so beautiful, body and mind. Know that everybody sees the world different, but I said I see it shine when I look at you. Laying next to you into the night gone, gave me inspiration, so you know I had to write a song and grind. You deserve the world and I'm about to give it, baby, and you know the reason why I'm about to make you mine. You been up late nights, I feel the mood. I hope you know I'm only doing this for us. Damn, time flew, more flights and another tour bus, and I wanna be back with you up in our bed. I can't relax, I'm out making this bread, but shawty know that I'll be yours until the end of time. Ayy, I'ma pull up, let me slide out. So ride with me if you know you finna ride out. A side on me that I know you tryna find out. Beside on me, cause I'm gonna make you mine now. Ayy, I'ma pull up, let me slide out. So ride with me if you know you finna ride out. A side on me that I know you tryna find out. Beside on me, cause I'm gonna make you mine now. Mine now, now, now. You know that I'm about to make you mine, oh mine, oh baby, mine, mine. Yeah, you know that I'm about to make you mine, oh mine. La, 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 la.
Yeah, I like that joint. That ain't smooth. I like that joint. Nice, smooth. Got a good. I like the little feel. I love stuff that give you feeling like little small storytelling and stuff. Uh, I like that joint though.
Yeah, update on the game. Cincinnati with a crucial turnover, driving the ball down. They roll on Kansas City's looking about 15, looking to get ready to get their trip to the Super Bowl, their ticket handed to them in Kansas City, which I did not predict. So I look like I'm gonna be eating my words and taking a third loss of the postseason unexpectedly in this game. I thought Kansas City was gonna run away with it after we saw that first half, and Cincinnati damn sure answered the call.
Yes. So John just basically says that his son Phaser um, has 83 unreleased tracks. They're gonna get them organized. Definitely put that on Spotify. And definitely when you shoot some videos or whatever, let us know, man, because we are definitely going to support that. Definitely gonna play it here. Man, you are blessed because you have such a talented family. I mean, one of the most talented families we know. So, right. CP3 going crazy over here. So, but yo, we it's definitely a good look, and like I said, we definitely support the joint. Oh man,
Can't believe Cincinnati bounced back like they did after that first half. This is very impressive. That's how I've been rooting for. Well, depends on the NFC game. As long as the Rams win, I'll do a coin flip. I like to see Matthew Stafford get a ring after all the years he's spent in Detroit.
So so Jamil had put on, shout out to Jamil. He had posed this question. Um, what basically rappers, what's that one beat that puts you, that gets you in, that gets your mind, and you start to basically spaz out, get you going and stuff. For him, it was my pleas by Don Kennedy and Nipsey Hussle. Uh, it just makes you want to freestyle and stuff. So to me, I would even take it further. You don't gotta be a rapper. What beat just opens you up and make you want to rap, or make you want to sing, or make you do something? For me, what I put down was Microphone Fiend, and that's just one of them because we grew up on Microphone Fiend. Microphone Fiend and the Symphony always does it for me. Like that joint just makes me. There's a couple others. Fabulous Breathe. That joint is mean.
See, with me not really being a rapper, I've gotten the booth a few times, spit some stuff off the top of my head. I wouldn't classify myself as a rapper.
But what beat opens you up to make you want to rap though?
It depends. Like, I guess what got me into the booth. I hate to say this. I know you ain't gonna approve, but it was them Dipset tracks. I had the Dipset
Oh
instrumentals.
Lord,
I had the instrumentals, and just some of those tracks, it just made me want to get in the booth. Now before, it was stuff like Mobb Deep, even though I wasn't a real Mobb Deep fan.
Shook One was the beat though.
Yeah, I had the instrumentals. And
Shook One was the beat. Shook One was like one of the greatest rap beats ever.
Cincinnati is going to the Super Bowl.
Cincinnati is going through the Super Bowl.
Cincinnati is going to the Super Bowl to represent the AFC after knocking off Kansas City.
Didn't think that was going to happen today.
24 in Kansas City. As I said, I have to eat my words and my pick. So folks called me out online, and I would have to say, if y'all watching, you were correct. Cincinnati sent their team. So
can't believe you said Dipset though.
I mean, that's what. Well, when I was surrounded by other folks that was actually in the industry, and I was making, putting together beats for them, and then they had some instrumentals. Those were some of the ones that put me in the mood to say I was in the right. We had enough drinks and had enough herbal medication going around where I just had some shit on my chest and on my mind I had to get off, and it came out. But yeah, man, a good beat can get anybody in that mode.
So, any particular Dipset song?
The Dipset anthem, of course.
The Dipset.
Yeah, but it was some of the ones on like J.R. Rodgers, some of the mixtapes that I heard that wasn't necessarily put out in the mainstream, but a lot of the stuff that they had on their albums, especially with Diplomatic Immunity, some of those tracks, yeah. I used to bang them joints, man. Them was my shit. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I can hate Dipset, but at that time in my life, when I was doing that shit, that was like the theme of my life at that point.
I always thought Dipset was overrated.
I mean, I was because it was just some wild shit.
I love Cam, but I think Dipset is like Jules Santana is garbage to me.
To me, if he didn't get fucked up in the whatever he was in, if he would have studied his craft and continued to grow, he could have been a top MC in my opinion.
Where? I mean, the top MC where?
Some of his
grade school,
some of
kindergarten,
some of the
preschool
stuff that he had that was putting out.
Joel Well, set like those are great lyrics. No, that's bullshit.
I'm talking about some of the stuff on the mixtapes. Not the stuff that they put out there. That was the shit.
It was garbage.
Hey man, I listened to a lot of Jules.
I thought Jim Jones. I thought Jules was gonna be hot, and I wound up liking Jim Jones better because Jim Jones knew how to make a song.
Yeah, Jones has a better voice, and he knows how to make a song.
But he wasn't. But he wasn't. Jones wasn't even a great MC. He's gotten a lot better, and Jules got a lot worse.
Yeah, he did. He did. Unfortunately.
Like, he should never make another CD. I mean, stick to that Love and Hip Hop money, cause your shit don't crank. Yeah, I mean, Man, I'm so disappointed. You said
You know any Jay-Z drinks? I feel like that was.
I mean, if you listen to Jigga joint, be like,
I
yo,
feel like that was no need to be said.
if you said a Jigga joint, if you said a UGK song, be like, yo, them UGK beats.
Obvious though. I had to go with the unobvious.
But then you said Dipset.
I know you wasn't gonna like that shit.
That shit garbage. That shit is garbage. To the night power.
I was a Dipset fan, bro. I'm sorry, man.
I remember people used to try to compare Dipset to Wu-Tang. What the fuck out of here?
See, I would never even.
So disrespectful. So disrespectful. They'd be like, yo, the Dipset is moving like the Wu-Tang movement. No, it's not.
I'm a Dipset fan, not a Dipset fanatic. There's a difference.
Yeah. I'm just saying. If we talking beats that make you want to rhyme, I understand. You know what? If you said Cameron, I'd have been like, yo, Cameron got some bangers. Oh Boy was a good beat. I'm going to was it going to Ohio or something like that? That joint was banging.
I mean,
She gonna suck it or not?
But because there was more comedy on this, the skits were more funny that made you want to tune in than actual lyrics.
The wordplay sucked.
Oh, I mean, the word.
No, I take that back. Hell Row was alright.
Yeah,
and
stay out of jail.
And JR. See, the lesser known Dipset niggas was tight. Like JR Writer was tight.
Yeah, he was sick too.
And that's what made me mad was like 3 people knew who JR Writer was, but everybody knew who fucking Jules Santana is. That shit is ridiculous.
It's all about marketing. JR Writer is
and then Def Jam signed this nigga? What the fuck was they thinking? What the fuck were they thinking? Obviously not enough alcohol. But I thought that was interesting. You know, like I said, for me, it was old school beats. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some. I mean, I could name tons of beats. There's some new school stuff too. I mean, not just even that's just because they're New York. I mean, the beat to Bombs Over Baghdad, I always thought was a hot ass beat. You know, that was just a straight MPC joint cranking. I mean, there's so many. Yo, so there was a dude that put something on Jamel's joint, and I actually went to it because I put a YouTube link of Microphone Fiend. He put a YouTube link of some shit that I ain't never heard of, and I was like, yo, this is trash. I had to put the laughing emoji. Because it was some house music, and then it looked like it was shot in D.C. It was some house music, and they had 2 motherfuckers, like, robbing a museum and getting chased with a gun, and I was like, yo, it's the most hilarious thing, because if you thought this was a good beat that made you want to sing, this beat makes me want to throw up. I thought it was horrible. No. Jamel had it was on a post that Cool Attention had put. So let's play a video. You okay? Do we need to call an ambulance? Anyway. Let's play Renegades, Get Up. I ain't smoking the thing.
Run, young.
That boy P, so he crazy.
No. I was down, now I'm really about to go get up. 10 rounds, now that nigga can't get up. That's what you get when you go fuck with the vision. My money be piling, we don't do division. The feds be watching, I just gotta get up. I was just down, now I'ma get up. Sleeping on me, I bet that they get up. My money was low, but now I'ma get up. Oh, bet that we get up. Pushing this weight, I'm doing sit-ups. I was just dirty, now I got my fit up. Too good for these bitches, I bet they gon' miss us. And I pack a bag if you think that I'm trippin'. I keep this shit brisk like I'm sip Lipton. Even though niggas don't know what to get on. You ain't shit till your niggas go and get on. Get you some pack, go make a flip homes. Yeah. I'm stuck in my bad ways. Niggas always being burnt out, so I dip them all in the ashtray. I don't understand these niggas that just always talking about, yeah, they past ways. I don't understand these bitches always comparing me to they past days. I give a fuck about you, you give a fuck about me. I just be rapping for money, you be rapping for free. Feel like that I rap like a god, the reason they call me a G. I'm against all of these odds, niggas ain't fucking with me. Never no worries, Hakuna Matata. They say that I'm hot cause the devil wear Prada. I'm Soulja Boy first and these niggas gon' follow. Catching no feelings, you catching these hollows. Ride with Rodriguez like I fuck with Rollo. Ain't got no time when I see this Movado. Bet that bitch shine like I'm in Monte Carlo. Looking at me like I done hit the lotto. Counting your last days, get hit up. Talking that trash, hey, on Twitter. Your bitch, she be bad, yeah, I'm with her. When she see me, her face be lit up. Boy, better go ahead and mind your business. I don't go back and forth like tenor. Run this game, I don't get no finna. But we bout to get up. 10 rounds, now that nigga can't get up. That's what you get when you go fuck with division. My money be piling, we don't do division. The feds be watching, I just gotta get up. I was just down, now I'ma get up. Sleeping on me, I bet that they get up. My money was low, but now I'ma get up. Oh.
That's Renegade Get Up joint. Next month, we're gonna make that song available on all digital platforms. You know, we've been playing it, and then soon we're in the works of working on another video. I kind of delayed it because I kind of want to shoot it in Texas. We're gonna be in Austin.
I don't know if I get my gun down to Texas, man, for the video.
Austin, one of my favorite parts.
I mean, you should love Texas. That's an open carry state.
I gotta get it down. Crap.
You know what? It's gonna take. Never. I'm not.
It's only 22 hours, right?
No.
Damn.
I didn't did it before.
What the hell was you driving to Texas for?
Drop it off somebody.
Somebody or something.
Some bodies.
Someone was moving to Texas and they needed somebody to ride
You
with
said
them.
they were moving something to Texas?
They was moving to
Oh,
Texas.
I thought you said something. Moving something.
I told you my ex.
Yeah, she was there.
Did you get hit on the highway?
That time, nah. When I moved into Ohio, but then we got pulled over.
You got pulled over for what?
I was speeding.
Why would you speak?
She was getting.
You know how y'all do, hit the gas a little bit too. I was driving her car, and I wasn't used to it, a little faster than I expected. I didn't know I was doing 85.
You didn't know?
But it was, in Ohio, it's like 75, 80 mile per hour. So.
Oh, you got a ticket?
Nah, we, I talked.
What you was like? I was doing some dumb. That's why I was going there.
No, I used it. It's my girl. I didn't know how fast. I didn't realize I was going this fast. I'm sorry. We're almost where we're going. All right, don't let it happen. Thank you. Yeah, great day.
You put your neutral, racial neutral voice on.
Voice. Yes, sir.
So,
no, sir.
You're wow. So congratulations to Bobby Lashley because he beat Brock Lesnar last night. So he has a second. So finally, a black man has beaten Brock Lesnar. Thank
But
God.
I thought Brock was going to WrestleMania.
He is.
That's the problem. But that's not. Talk about it.
Well, they said this is one of the worst. The men's Royal Rumble match was the worst ever. Because one, they really, out of all the people in there besides Brock Lesnar before he came in there was probably only two other people, maybe three, that possibly could have actually main evented WrestleMania. So all these other guys, you knew they weren't gonna fucking win. And their biggest surprise entrance of the night was fucking Shane McMahon.
nobody cares about him.
So the women's Royal Rumble had all these returning stars from when I was growing.
Ronda was on there, right?
Ronda came back. Lita was there. They even bought.
Ronda Rousey.
I ain't really watching.
Yeah, because that was very recent.
Yeah, I wasn't watching it. I just started tuning in a little bit. One of our podcasts about wrestling and back in wrestling. Plus the women's bit.
It had such a yeah.
And let's see, the Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool, Ivory, who did her right to censor gimmick, and she came out with the siren and talking shit, and you know she really she was there, but she's I didn't know Ivory was fucking 60, and she still took a nice spill. Right.
I mean, well, these guys do it. So,
yeah.
You know, Undertaker's like $1 million.
Yeah.
And Hogan kept coming back, and then Ric Flair.
I think it was in 70, wasn't it?
And they keep coming back.
Yeah, true.
And even Arnold stepped in the ring. He was old as dirt when he did, you know.
So it was like I said, the women's had everything the men, and I think because the women's were so good that there's several people that we knew Ronda was coming, but there were several people if she didn't come that could have won it anyway. Like the minute Brock showed up, we were like, all right, this shit's over. I mean, I was really hoping Big E would have won it.
Yeah.
I'm praying that I would love to see Big E and Bobby Lashley go at it one more time.
Right.
And it will probably be the first time 2 black men have main evented WrestleMania.
Right.
That would be nice. Unfortunately, they did move Big E back to SmackDown to be in a tag team, basically with Kofi Kingston, so they stopped his push. However, I don't think it was the right time to. Big E should have been over a while ago, but Lashley was on a nice tear, and they stopped his tear really quick. And I don't think it was the right time to pull the trigger. So, and I think Big E kind of got caught up in it. Who's a phenomenal wrestler, great personality, and it's like the ultimate baby face. I just hate that he was dumped out by. I forgot who dumped him out, but he should have been, at least Big E should have been in one of the final 4. They gotta do that man better because New Day sells a ton of fucking merchandise for the WWE, and not only Big E, but they should really have done Kofi King. Like Xavier Woods has the only title Xavier Woods has ever had in the WWE is the tag team titles with the New Day. And they're all 3 are phenomenal wrestlers who at least, like Xavier Woods could at least had held a mid-card title by now. Like, they gave him the King of the Ring basically because he pushed to have the King of the Ring come back. But yeah, it was, I fell asleep on the Royal Rumble. I was trying to watch it and I don't know if I was tired or I don't know that it sucked that bad that I went to sleep. It was on the men's Royal Rumble match too. I went to sleep.
Yeah, so for me, I felt like based off of everything that's been going on lately, I felt like it was going to be trash, and that was confirmed as soon as it was over because we got paid to see that.
Yeah, a lot of people were upset. A lot of people were upset. They were like, yeah, this joint's garbage.
But I feel like whether Brock won, technically, he still won, Why is he?
First of all, I don't like how they explained. He just coming in there and just like, okay, well, fuck it, I'm Brock. I'm just gonna be in the Royal Rumble. Like
I'm just gonna go to WrestleMania.
When they did Becky Lynch several years ago, they did the whole storyline. She had lost to I think Charlotte that day, and then the person, Lana, whoever was going to the ring, and whoever was jumped out the ring attacked her, and she couldn't go. Becky Lynch came out and she told her, "Oh no, go take my spot, go take my spot." Now that made sense, and then they wound up having a triple threat in which it was Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey, and they main evented WrestleMania, uh, and that happened, which in storyline's purpose makes sense. Brock's like he just walked in, like cue the
Because
music.
he's running everything right now. That's not. That's why I said he won, even though he didn't technically win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that.
I mean, it was different to have Brock Lesnar as what they call a transitional champion. Basically, they took the belt off Big E to put it on Brock Lesnar, just to give it back to Bobby Lashley. If that was the case, they could have just had fucking Bobby Lashley win the day one pay per view from the start. But I guess they finally wanted, and don't get me wrong, because Bobby Lashley asked for this match fucking over 4 years ago when he came back to face Brock Lesnar, and they never put it together when they kept giving Bobby Lashley mid card titles. And if they had used Bobby Lashley like the way he was used in TNA, Impact Wrestling, they finally started to very dominant run, which he started to look like a dominant champion. Um, and he was one of the most entertaining things on Raw since the pandemic era.
I'm not the only person that feels this way, so it's spiraling downhill.
It's been spiraling downhill.
But it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So,
It's been.
like
What?
out of nowhere, it just got really bad.
Let's be clear. Raw is a terrible show. First of all, it's 3 hours, and it should never be 3 hours. WCW Nitro, when it went to 3 hours, was the worst thing. And Raw went to 3 hours. And that was because, and it's not even because of the WWE. The USA Networks makes Raw 3 hours.
Right.
Because they have nothing to fill that spot. So it's terrible. SmackDown is the better show. Better storylines. They have Roman Reigns. Like Roman Reigns has been champion for like fucking almost 2 years now. With Raw, the title has bounced. Like when Brock had it for a year, you probably saw him maybe 4 times that year. It wasn't like he had it and he defended it all the time. He had it, and you would go through months without seeing the Raw champion. That's in his contract. So yeah, it's been a terrible show. But shout out to Bobby Lashley. I thought that was good.
He got his name on the side of his hat.
Oh yeah.
As a hashtag. So.
Represent brand, got some things in the works, trying to get some branding and some trademark and stuff taken care of. Trying to make some moves, trying to get some income coming in, get some new apparel made up. One of my partners started a leggings company, so I'm about to reach out to him.
Leggings?
Yeah. Apparently, opened up a store. If I get sports, go to HP, not come to them fast.
I knew you was gonna say something.
Advertise. You see that on somebody's page, you're gonna go for that shit.
So speaking of ass.
Oh wait.
Segway.
Speaking of ass, so Nick Cannon's about to have another baby.
So speaking of what?
Yeah, he apparently he's getting a lot of ass.
His therapist told him to stop having sex. Apparently he doesn't listen.
Apparently we know his favorite rap artist must be ODB. Ooh baby, I like it raw. Yeah, he's like
these chicks are not using the pill.
He's taking care of it.
Morning after.
Shit.
Nothing. At least a plan B in the orange juice.
This is about to be his 8th baby.
They just had a baby not too long ago.
Baby. No, he had like 3 in the span of 12 months.
Yeah.
No, 4.
Yeah, 151 told me one of the twins passed away.
Yeah.
It wasn't a twin.
It wasn't a twin?
No, it wasn't one of his twins. It's a single baby. The
Okay.
youngest passed away.
Okay.
Trying to make up for it.
But he had 4 in the span of a year.
Yeah, so much stuff.
Man.
What? And then it was a set of twins.
Look, man.
And he was working hard, but he just had Mariah's kids, and then he even said, he's trying to make a team.
He got the
I
team.
think he got
This
one.
this next child need to be Wu-Tang because he got a clan.
Well, I mean, my cousin got 11. So.
I have a cousin who's way more, but we're not gonna talk about that right now.
So do I.
Way more.
Way more. We can multiply that. Every time.
Come on, 20.
Like I said,
Come on, man. She was the first name basis with the hospital thing.
They're like you
I
again.
mean, he.
I thought you were. Yeah, I can believe that. I know.
Oh,
I'm not one of them.
oh,
So,
oh.
well, I'm an ex-war.
Oh.
Nigga, stop changing your story. You just dig deeper and deeper and deeper.
No, you said what you said. Well, you know. No, we know what you. Don't worry.
I saw a post on social media.
What about you?
Nah, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. It said, all kids are is come that you keep as pets.
I'm sorry.
What? This show's over. This show's over. Show's over. Cancel it. It's cancel culture right here.
And it grew. It grew.
Who the fuck says stuff though? What type? I don't even want to know. And then you want to justify it.
Were you inebriated?
I'm listening deep on that shit for
I'm
an hour.
sure you were. This is terrible.
He's like, that's a possibility. Oh man.
There's no hope for him.
You know this.
No hope for you.
I don't know where you get some of this shit from, CB3.
Who sent you this?
Oh, I saw. I think I was
You
on
scrolling?
Instagram. Yeah, I was
Who you
scrolling.
following? But you
Man.
seeing people
Follow some wild shit.
clearly.
Wild shit out there.
Yeah, but it would be on your screen.
I mean, people that I be known to be honest, I think it's
What, are you looking at me? Were you trying to look at me when you said that?
I'm just saying, people be sharing stuff.
I share good quality things. They're funny, but something like I didn't send you that, so you can't don't side eye me. We're side eye you. I didn't send
That was some crazy shit.
That was some good shit.
I didn't post.
So, speaking of crazy stuff, as I flip over, because I wanted people to see this so know that I'm not making this up. I got this off of IG. Yeah, I did. So it's on. I got it from All Hip Hop Models, and it says, "Meet the female pastor, Mrs. Veronica, who sleeps with her members to heal them. She claims God anointed her vagina and said her vagina is anointed for healing infidelity in men."
So to heal infidelity, she's sleeping with. But you know, I'm not surprised because there was a male pastor that advised his congregation to drink his holy milk.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I seen that shit.
I mean, people are sick and twisted. They're trying to use religion as this vessel, this vehicle to, spread their nonsense. Like what? And the fact that they have people that believe them and actually go along is absolutely crazy.
All you can do, they allow you to do. So, I've had a couple of situations. So.
I bet you did.
Why is it that no matter what we talk about,
You always had a
couple
situation.
of situations?
I've lived a crazy life.
We
this
know
is
this.
the new me. This
Oh.
is the improved me. This is the straight arrow.
Uh,
I talk about this stuff I did in the past when I was crooked.
what?
I was on the straight arrow and I was crooked.
Oh, and you're not crooked, man.
Nah, it's how
Straight and narrow.
Yeah. Everything legit.
Okay. But
Still know
wow.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
It's great. NFC Championship game started. Looks like San Francisco had the ball on their 20, getting the ball first. 14:06 in the first. In LA. Going for the Rams. Fuck for the
Wow. You did say that though, but I prefer the 49ers.
I'm still in shock over the Cincinnati game, so who knows what's going to happen in this game. I found my third loss in the postseason, but that hurt.
Yeah. So let's talk about. I didn't see it. I didn't watch it. Halftime show. What happened? They said it was trash.
I don't know.
They said you couldn't hear the commentators because the music was too loud.
I don't even think you paid attention to it.
That's probably a good thing. They said it was horrible. Like not necessarily the performance, but it was a country singer. But they said that like the audio was like amateur. It was like really, really
That sucks.
Ain't first.
They just had Brandy come out and she sang the national anthem.
Oh, well,
Halftime, I think I was
of course, that sounds right.
So everybody's favorite small country thug T.I. It's trying to say that comedy. I don't make this stuff up. You know, I could see the disappointment in Lady Antoinette's eyes.
I mean, he says some funny things, but I don't think he's really funny. Not to say that he wouldn't be funny on, as far as stand-up is concerned, because you're writing your jokes. You put a set together. I mean, everyone technically is capable of doing that. Let's say you deliver jokes that someone else wrote you. I just can't see it. But
He doesn't strike me as. However, I take that back. He said something that was hilarious the other day. He said that no one could beat him in a versus battle, and I found that shit funny. That shit tickled my soul.
he just
Y'all didn't find that funny? I thought it was hilarious. And then he said something that was even more funnier. He's like, I could take on Jay-Z, I could take on Eminem, and he challenged Eminem.
well,
And
y'all know he smoked, so maybe he.
but this is the
I said some different stuff.
but this is the same guy.
stereotyping.
No, I'm saying he smoked, so he might have smoked something a little
All
different.
that shit that means.
But this is the same guy that when Busta Rhymes was like, okay, you want that work?
Wait,
He jumped out there and he was like, yeah, but no, but you can't use your old catalog.
well, what is he supposed to do? But T.I. don't even have these.
First of all,
Busta got an album since T.I. had one.
yeah. Don't nobody really want to go against who you are and put your hands where your eyes can see and And then- and then if he does and then if T that's what I'm saying. So if T.I. brings out the song with Justin Timberlake, which is a good song by the way, what's gonna happen when
It's song with Janet.
yeah, what's gonna happen with that? Yeah, pretty much.
And even his new stuff.
So
New stuff.
yeah. He had that joint with M.O.P. Or and he had that joint with Eminem when they both were rhyming fast. Or if they did the Look at Me Now verse.
MJ. It was. You just out of respect for MJ, people not gonna go against that song. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was
I
tough.
don't know who he would come.
He would have went up against
I feel like somebody who already went would be maybe Luda.
I don't think he could win that though. I thought that would have been his Jeezy Gucci moment because Luda was his nemesis for a while.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only person I can think of.
But I don't think he wins that.
Or Nelly. He can go because
But he can. I don't know.
he can go up against Nelly. Luda or Nelly, which
He
ironically they. Whatever.
could have won against Jeezy, but I don't know if we can win that one.
I don't see him going. Jeezy was where he was supposed to. That day he had the right verses.
You know,
But see, I can see him going up against like Nelly or Luda. That's it.
and he won at 50 Cent.
See,
So,
I think he could beat 50 Cent.
His catalog actually is, if you talking about studio albums, his catalog is bigger than. But
the problem is 50 has those anthems that
and 50's on other people's stuff too.
when 50 has doesn't have a good catalog, but he has those songs that are anthems and moments in hip
But
hop.
see, here's the problem with that. Even if you have anthems and moments, you're going 20 for 20. Unless you got 20 straight anthems, you can still lose.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but at
Because
least
T.I. got some. First of all, in the South, like, come on now, he got some anthems for them.
he
So
do.
I out of respect,
But what's going to be in the
both
club?
of them, I feel like,
He got a hell of an underground.
yeah,
too.
T.I. got some
He got
club.
rapid mixtapes on there. Shit.
But that's why I said just studio albums, because 50 got mixtape.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I think it'd be a
And
good
T.I.,
matchup. Both of
yeah.
them, pretty much catalog wise and mixtape wise in the same category. I think that would be a good matchup.
I just don't think, as far as the flow and the vibe, I think that it's completely
Yeah, it will be a whole vibe
different. Yeah.
conflict.
It's weird.
It will be who would take over the crowd more, the laid back T.I. or the hyped up 50.
Yeah, it's weird. I
And
don't.
if they were playing songs, it'd be a little bit different. If they're performing, 50's going to get it just off the performance.
50, yeah, because T.I. real laid back.
He
Well,
let-
T.I. used to be real hype.
Yeah,
Now
I mean
he's not.
24s was my shit though,
T.I. used to be real hype.
and his
But
verses
50
on Never
will
Scared
bring
was good.
out 50 million people on
He
the
is.
stage.
He's gonna stop beefing with Young Buck. He's gonna reform the G Unit. He's like Young Buck. He's gonna be like. He's like, Young Buck, you know you need this money. You're going to get on stage.
That's true.
You're going to have the spinning chain like I had back in the day.
I'll let you keep it this time.
Are we?
I'll let you keep it.
We know 50. We know 50. You gotta be somebody.
He'll throw some money his way because he knows he needs it.
You know, New York niggas is petty. I know.
50 is petty.
I know.
50 is like the pettiest ever.
I know. I'm a New York nigga. I know how petty I can be. I will hold a grudge for a long time. I wait for a nigga to help me. I will wait for a nigga to need my help just to remind him I ain't gonna give it to him.
To this day, when you say something about Ja Rule, I'll be like, this nigga. Oh my god.
Well, that nigga bought the tickets to
He bought the first 3 rows. Wasn't it 3? Yeah, first 3 rows.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that was hilarious. That shit was hilarious. I was like, oh my god, I love this shit. Sometimes I like the pettiness.
And then he went after Tierra Marie again kind of recently.
She owed him money.
Yeah, and he reminded us again that she owed him. He was like, y'all remember? I was like, oh no.
You know. But at the same time, the guy who played Ghost told us he told a great story about 50. He said, he said when we got power, and he said I was broke.
And he owed 50 money.
And he said, and 50 came to me and was like, oh, you broke. And he said, can't have my number one guy broke.
Yep.
And 50 loaned him a certain amount of money. But he said, yo, I paid that nigga back double the amount.
No, but I don't think 50 asked to pay back. He chose to pay back. But Amari, pardon.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Yeah, he said the dude. I don't either. I know who he is. That's not Ghost. You thought he was Ghost because he white?
Yeah.
You racist.
I'm just the white dude that
You didn't see her walk you into that. The white guy named is Tommy.
Some white girls over here racist.
I don't deal with white men. Shit. I can't be racist. I like white women.
So let's get back to dipshits. Your boy Jim Jones said he would Jake Paul, Jadakiss in a solo versus.
Yeah. Poor thing. I've seen it, and I'm like, I just shake my head each time. I'm like, Jim, baby. No, I think he's trying to get people to stop talking about him kissing his mom in the mouth.
He's still bringing it up.
I'm just being so he's trying to change that narrative. You know they say that people gonna talk about something in regards to you until something else come up.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do.
This ain't a good narrative because Jadakiss damn near bodied your whole faction. Why would you think? You think Ballin's gonna save you? You think Certified Gangster's gonna save you?
I like Ballin, but that was it.
What are you gonna do? Go mixtape
You
it?
can't stop playing.
You
Crazy, his ex-girlfriend will body him.
Chris,
So,
I thought they ain't together no more. Oh, damn.
that, but
I told you, any nigga with a perm got issues.
I heard when he go around his hood, he get beat up. I have some very reliable sources. He be getting like clown, and they be like snatching his chain and stuff like that.
Like we talk about all the time. When you make it, you gotta get out your hood because most of the niggas are envious, jealous, and don't fuck with you anyway. So they go around there, they won't fuck with you.
I mean, but Jim.
Well, Yandy boy can beat him up. I mean, DC's beat that nigga up.
Jim is a good talker. Oh,
However, Jim and his people, they put their paws on Freddie Gibbs in that restaurant in Miami, though.
But he, I just feel like Jim. But you said in his people.
Yeah.
So meaning his people.
Yeah.
Because Jim by himself, every time he's around, he get beat up by himself. You know what I mean? So that means he has the right people around him.
Well, Jim got buff now. He shouldn't be getting beat up.
Just because you buff don't mean you can fight. Let's be real. Let's be real. Just because you buff don't mean you can fight. Now, I have a friend who is extremely buff and he can fight. And a lot of people think that he can't because he's so big. But nah.
Jones one of the niggas that talk shit.
Thank you.
Come to them, they back down when they make an excuse why they can't fight.
Lifting weights ain't gonna mean that you can fight.
So that's what I told you.
Fighting is practice. You know, like you fight as practice and then you get better at fighting. But if you can't never get a hit in, then you're just getting beat up.
Little nigga beat my ass. I had him about 50 pounds. Little motherfucker had boxing and whipped my ass.
You just need to, if you big, which Jim ain't, he still, even though he been in the gym, he ain't big. But you need to, you need to like go to football, you know. Yeah, you got to.
I ain't getting paid $3 million out here.
You know what? I think. You know, you got a lot of. You know, I'm gonna play a couple of videos. Then
right, because he's over here.
We're gonna play like 2 videos, and then we're gonna come back. We gotta talk about this Chris Brown situation.
Which one?
The new one.
I get my weed from Baghdad. Hop on a plane, get jet lag. My brother be swiping off Cash App. Yo, bitch, just send me your cash tag. I hit your bitch and you mad. You don't want smoke, then pass that. Keep me 2 Glocks like Mad Max. Have an XO, but I got a tax. I want a Glock 40. I just might tax short. I'm taking the bitches, feel
serene. Planting my seeds, there's no more trees. Do you believe in me? Cash crop, I got the game in the padlock. I want the money now, who wanna wait? Try to rob me for 48. I'ma put them on first 48. You in the lake and I'm catching this wave. No dinner days, I'm just stuck in my way. For minimum wage, I'm busting these plays. I gotta play to hit, I cannot wait for shit. She say that she love me, but I cannot say the bitch. Hold it together, no paper clip. All of my feelings be rushing in. Clutching my Glock and my FN. She get me top in the West End, even though I hear her best friend. I get my weed from Baghdad. Hop on a plane, get jet lag. My brother be swiping off Cash App. Yo bitch just send me your cash tag. I hit your bitch and you mad. You don't want smoke, then pass that. Keep me 2 Glocks like Mad Max. Have an XO, but I got a tax. Young turn bitch, all I do is get money. Hoes in they feelings cause I ran up 100 eating greedy. I'ma chase a bag till I'm rich. If he ain't spinning cheese, then he ain't getting shit. Hoes be so pressed, but they used to be fans. This loyal ass bitch throwing shade to my mans. Hoes in your face, whole time they be slimy. Screaming that they real, but they steady moving grimy. Fuck the sweet talk, man, I'm done being nice. I cut the nigga off, I ain't saying shit twice. Left the pussy nigga, now his ass wanna fight. Nigga think he hard, what your name is? I be busting down pros, bout to catch the next flight. Yo bitch in my wood, I was choking all night. Finna pull me up at 8th, I gotta grab me a Sprite. Cup real muddy, put the walk on ice. My palms stay itching like a head full of light. I keep the strap on me like I ran through dirt. I ain't never been a bitch and I ain't never got hold your baby daddy on my dick cause my knot won't fold. Don't even let him touch your pussy cause I heard he told. Back and forth to the H-ho, I stay on the road. Scoring zips to the Zod, but I'm dropping the bows. Jugging and finessing, trying to get shit sold. Bitch, all I do is get money. Hoes in they feelings cause I ran up 100 eating greedy. I'ma chase the bag till I'm rich. If he ain't spinning cheese, then he ain't getting shit.
Boss ass bitch, all I do is talk business. Seen a lot of shit, but I ain't never been a witness. Nigga wanna hit the road for some pros, I ain't splitting. Chasing out in the bag and run up digits, no fitness. Wanna touch 100, bitch, you gotta have some hustle. Don't get mad when I say this, know you hoes like to tussle. That nigga that you fucking ain't getting no cheese. Got the plug on the walk and he still sipping green. What that mean? I don't know, you tell me. Spent 1,000 on his shoes, he ain't got it in his jeans, out of pocket. Bank empty, just like his wallet. That's the dick that you sit on every morning, bitch, you out. I been getting hate from these hoes since a child. Say I'm acting funny, they ain't see me in a while. Try to call me fake, I'ma crack a smile. I'm the realest bitch around, tryna make $1 million pop. Keep a roll on me, I can never stop flexing. On your best day, bitch, I still get more attention. Niggas on my head for not responding to their message. I'm driving through the mountains, dog, I barely got reception. Young turn bitch, all I do is get money. Hoes in they feelings cause I ran up 100 eating greedy. I'ma chase a bag till I'm rich. If he ain't spinning cheese, then he ain't getting shit. Weird ass nigga.
You doing your little dance, CP3, your little head dance while you look at chicks and stuff.
Spend no money when you get shit.
You ain't giving no chick no money.
Not right now. Can't pay their bills, I gotta pay mine. 6 times hard, I get it. Stable, empty.
You're stable.
Yeah.
Stable.
Yeah.
You should have thought she turned her head towards you. With substance, God, she just said.
You're stable.
I'm watching Immaculate. Still going to go.
Clearly.
Changed my life.
It changed your life.
Yeah.
How? How did it change your life?
It broadened my horizons. Communication. Communicate properly. Words. Anything.
Where do you get this shit from?
That's the truth, man. That's the truth, man. You spent the right
Where did
game.
you pull that out?
No, that applies in business and personal. If you put your business proposal the right way, it makes it more appealing to the person you're, talking to, and be more willing to listen to what you have to say. Choose the right word. Same thing in person. If you choose the right words, you never know what you might be able to get.
Okay, honey.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to use my words correctly.
That's right. I ain't even talking.
So there's a lawsuit, a $20 million lawsuit against Chris Brown. What were you telling me earlier, CP3, that
Yeah, there's I don't know if she's currently a college basketball player or ex-college basketball player, but she came out on Twitter and said that basically Chris Brown took the boot. He's denying it through his lawyers. I
It
don't.
happened at this one at Diddy's yacht. Is this one?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Something like
She
that.
said it happened at Diddy's yacht.
Said that he might have slipped something in her drink when she started coming to. He was had already penetrated and didn't take no for an answer.
So here's the problem. But this happened a while ago, right?
like how long?
Over a year. It was over a year. She was FaceTiming her homegirl or one of her friends. I don't know if it was a female or not, but she was FaceTiming one of her friends. Chris took the person's phone and was telling her, come through, come through. So she came over to Diddy's yacht out in Miami and got on the yacht. Soon as she got there, Chris was on her, right? This is her story. Chris is in her face and everything. He's like, come on to the kitchen, fixed her a mixed drink. Okay? She drank the drink, started feeling woozy. He was like, well, come into the bedroom and lay down. And that's where it's supposed to be now. This female, this young lady, said that she never went to the police because of embarrassment. She didn't want to be embarrassed. So, fast forward, you still ain't go to the police. But now you're suing him, and it's in the news. So, I'm a little confused.
Seems
Because
kinda
if you would have gone to the police and it hit the news, what would you be embarrassed about?
Yeah.
Versus suing him and it goes to the news. And now you're embarrassed.
True.
And it's going to be difficult to win this case because you never went to the police. And where is the evidence? You're going to have to produce this evidence. You're going to have to prove that this man did this to you. So you really shot yourself in the foot. If you were going to go to the police and then sue him later, if there was evidence from the police report, then that too. But keep in mind that across the nation they're cracking down on these false police reports as well. So had she filed a police report and she was lying,
she can be in trouble.
She would be charged because you can get charged for filing a false police report.
Oh shit.
So I'm not going to tell you guys what I think. However, I've explained to you how that her story.
We can talk about that other part
and
off
how
the
that
air.
process
Yeah.
goes and how it is going to be difficult for her to win her case because she does not have evidence and she never went to the police. It can be difficult to get her $20 million. Maybe she's hoping that he settles to make it go away. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
But would you pay any amount of money if you didn't do that?
Some people do that.
Yeah.
Some lawyers will say
Just give her some money.
because you'll be able to keep her away and it won't hurt your reputation. I could never understood that, but
that don't make sense because if you pay, that's hurting your reputation. No matter how you look at it, it's going to hurt your reputation. But at the same time, his reputation versus her reputation, because this affects her reputation as well.
But the thing about it is like, there was this thing called in the WWE called the plane ride from hell. So in this plane ride, a lot of bad things happened. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Hennig almost crashed through the door. Ric Flair is basically walking around naked or with his robe on, swinging his ding dong. And there's a show called Dark Side of the Ring. So they did this thing on it. And one of the ladies who Ric Flair walked up and he was swinging his ding dong to, was traumatized by it. Now, the WWE did pay her. And then, there was a gag order for so many years. Now she's able to talk about it and saying how hard and stuff it was. And a wrestler, actually, Tommy Dreamer, was like, well, Rick was being Rick, but if she was not, if she was traumatized, why did she take the money? And that got him in trouble for a little bit. He was almost fired from his job at Impact Wrestling because they felt that he was victim blaming. So that, it's a slippery slope. But outside of, and I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid, outside of until I watched Dark Side of the Ring, I didn't know the Ric Flair story. So that's why the whole payment situation comes in, because that was kept quiet for a long, long time. Matter like that they basically that story was so crazy because they emptied out 2 booze carts before they even took off. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon was basically got fired because he had not only alcohol, but he had like in his system, and it was crazy. It was crazy though. So, but like I said, I didn't know the Ric Flair story because the WWE basically paid, and after the gag order actually ran out, then she told, so.
Yeah, fire her. We got them story.
Of course you would say that.
Yeah, go to the beach.
You know what? No.
Is there something about that word coming out your mouth?
Right. That's why I was like, nope. Nope. And you talking about you got a movie about that? No.
We're talking about 2 different type of gags.
I know. I'm trying to use the professional.
No.
I've already done the other one.
Can you
There's a gift that I tend to use on social media. It's the Cat in the Hat, the live action version. Cat in the Hat. He's holding a garden hoe. And he says dirty hoe. Because the garden hoe was dirty. I feel like I need that right to
I'm a reform hoe.
I beg to differ.
You have what?
I have
News to me.
Right. You had rules when you were like 12.
Yeah.
And they went out the window.
We all change.
Oh, yeah.
Growth is about change.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Into an older dirty hoe.
Dirty thoughts and being a dirty hoe is 2 different.
Oh,
okay. I don't know if y'all. I don't know. I like to clean. I've been watching that show. It's good. She winds up cleaning up for a cartel.
Yeah, no, I
see. The last episode kind of threw me.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, it kind of threw me.
Don't give no spoilers. Because I said I was gonna watch it.
Because I was liking it at first, and then the last episode.
Now you don't like it no more.
I'm conflicted because I like to watch stories that are realistic and keep your attention. And the choice that she made, I don't see that advantageous to her situation. That's
I've been watching Ozark this season, last season. Oh my god, I love the show.
I've heard people talk about it. I've never got a description of what it's about.
So basically, dude and his partner were so the show starts off like this. the drug dealer is crazy. So he has Marty and his partner on on their knees, and he's threatening to kill them because he's like, one of y'all is stealing money. The funny thing is, he really didn't think they were stealing money. He's just fucking crazy. And the partner like eventually admits to doing it. And so they wound up killing the partner. But then, like, he's like, well, Marty, now that your partner's there, you owe me the money that he took. So then, like, Marty's life is some shit right now. His wife is like fucking another dude. And in the cartel, like, because I like you, they take the other dude and they throw him out the window. So then Marty, his partner, was trying to secretly go to the Ozarks and start something. So Marty spends it of we can I'll move my family there and we owe you this money. And I'll launder the money to get it back. And that's what he's doing. He's money laundering. But then that guy gets killed, and the big head of the cartel he wound up dealing with. And it just gets fucking crazy. But motherfucker, when it's one of those series is don't get too attached to a character.
Because everybody thinks.
Nigga, I ain't seen this much killing since The Wire. Hey, don't get too attached to it, because if you like a character, they're gonna die. The chances are they may not make it to season. Man, you thought them niggas was killing people in Power. These niggas kill everybody. Like the last season, it's a lawyer lady, and she's ruthless as shit. And so basically, she gets pissed off at them, and she's going to tell the cartel that Marty's about to flip on them.
She got that.
But before she can give out the information, the dude is erratic. He's just like, he tells her to talk, and when she goes to talk, a dude just comes from now with Bow. And that's how like the season 3 ended. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know how you just be watching and you be like, oh yeah, I'm about to do what the hell? That's the type of shit it does. And like, don't get too attached because characters you don't think were gonna die, they die. So, what the fuck was that? That was dope.
One that a fumble in San Francisco recovered. Oh no, they took the punch up the door, so I guess it wasn't a complete pass.
That was a horrible ass stuff.
His arm was going forward. That's why it was an incomplete pass. It was a fumble.
I mean, he wasn't in the way anyway, so.
Yeah, but his arm was going forward.
But so Lady Antoinette put up a very interesting post. Let me pull this up.
I was about to share it today too. And so somebody else.
I'm so proud of you.
I agree with it.
So this is deep. This is deep. So it says basically, so when Tyrese had a mental breakdown, hold on, let me get, because it's kind of far from my eyes. Let me read this the right way.
He got somewhere.
He's been at the ball for a while now.
I ain't had enough
It's
liquor.
a little blurry.
I ain't had enough liquor to read this straight.
But that makes sense.
So when Tyrese had a mental breakdown online in regards to not seeing his daughter in 2 years, people laughed at him and he became a meme. When Kanye West had a mental breakdown on TV, people called him crazy and he became a meme too. The world watched Will Smith listen to his wife tell him that she had an affair, and people laughed at Will, and he became a meme too. Yet folks wonder why men don't open up about their mental health. And I'm gonna be very racist. I'm gonna say black men.
No, if, I don't know if you saw all the comments, but a lot of people were saying specifically black men. And it's a problem. First of all, the black community, when it comes to your mental health, for years we didn't take it serious.
We didn't. We assumed therapy was a bad word.
Right. And you know, when it came to marital problems, when it came to just coping with anything, when it comes to coping with death, when it comes to coping with tragic situations, people just thought going to a therapist is bad. And we're taught a certain thing. We're taught specific things. Now, this post isn't talking about the things that young Black women are taught, because we're taught some things too that are eventually you notice when you're an adult is toxic. But this was to shine light on not just the things that men were taught, but the way the world views men in mental health. And again, specifically Black men in mental health. When you're young, especially, I'm only speaking to the men right now. Yes, women, I know the ladies were taught toxic things too. But the men were taught, be strong, don't have fear, don't show fear.
True.
Don't cry. Can't cry.
Because cry makes you weak.
It shows that you soft.
Yes.
These are different toxic things, and don't complain, don't complain, because really it's looked at as like talking about your struggles, talking about things that are difficult in your life, you're complaining. That's how it's looked at. So when you take all of that and you have years and years of a community, of a culture of people that were taught these things, this is the result we get. Now, with that said, I will admit, I'll be the first to admit, Tyrese likes attention.
Yeah.
Kanye likes attention.
True.
Will, he does not as much as the other two. He likes attention. However, him and his wife did choose to put their business
out there.
But as a result of another man who liked attention putting their business out there.
Yeah.
So that, to me, I feel like that also shines light on a lot of things. Because people put too much of their information, too much of their business in the street.
They do.
So you wouldn't be in those three gentlemen wouldn't be in the situation that they were in had they kept their business to themselves. Point blank, period. Because if Will and Jada never even said anything about what August Alsina said, we wouldn't have had that moment with her saying, and you can see this man's reaction. You can see the anger in his face when she was like, "It was an entanglement." No, that wasn't an entanglement. He looked at her, and you can tell he didn't like her.
He was hurt.
So you're putting your business in the street. For years, we've heard Jada and Will had an open marriage, and they didn't comment. They just like whatever. They're above it all. But they chose not to be above it all anymore, and it backfired on Will. And it backfired on Jada too, honestly.
Yeah. But here's the thing. We look. There's not really a meme of Jada like there is of Will, and when we see that Will, we use that Will to describe a weak person.
And essentially he's the victim in the situation.
Yes.
Tyrese, he's the victim in the situation. Kanye, not for the breakdowns that he tends to have. I feel like Kanye creates his own thing, but we know Kanye is suffering from a lot of mental issues. We know this.
Yeah.
And these are three men that they're going through some things and they're seeking certain type of attention. And our community is like, oh, you want attention? We can give it to you.
Yeah.
And you're shedding light and making fun of the issue that they have.
And
that's not
right. And I'm guilty of it. I just put up a meme of American Psycho, and it's like Pete Davidson looking at Kanye's house across the street. I mean,
here's the thing: Kanye's outburst isn't even really that recent. It's not necessarily about what's going on in his life now, but to your point, you're shedding light on something that's probably very difficult right now.
And I thought it was funny, but when I think about it now, as we had this conversation, I realized that's more toxic than funny.
Right.
And here's the thing: as a father, we should be any father that wants to live across the street from their children. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Kanye said he wanted his family back. And he wanted him and Kim to. He said this on camera.
Yeah.
It wasn't, a statement or it could. This is what he said. And then he said he wanted to be back with Kim, and then he moved across the street. That is toxic because she doesn't want you anymore. That's toxic. That's not funny. People were laughing about it. It's sad.
But also, we're assuming that, but he didn't want to be by his kids too.
Right. But at
And
the same right across the street, you're infringing on this woman's privacy on purpose. That's not. And that's because of whatever his mental state of mind at that time that showed. And I feel like that's not funny. This man, that's sad.
it's hurtful for a man not to, for people who want to be fathers and not having your kid denied. Like I remember he just did the thing recently where she invited. I thought it was just her family, but she invited his family, but didn't tell him with the birthday party for Chicago West was.
There's a lot of speculation about that. Some people say he did have it, and of course he said he didn't. But him buying the house was before.
Yes.
There was no there were no claims that I can't see my kids before he bought that house. The only thing that was said was I want Kim back. And that's where that toxic nature comes from. Everybody has to make adjustments when people get a divorce. I'm divorced, okay? And I can tell you, I'm here to tell you, if my ex moved across the street, we would have some problems.
Did you cut him?
We would have.
I think Kanye, ever since his mom passed away, that was his breaking point. And now that he has these kids with Kim, now that it's over, I'm just thinking as part of that abandonment issue that he still has unresolved about his mom passing. So, I mean, I didn't even know about the stuff that y'all telling me about, but this is just my quick interpretation from just the great synopsis that you gave of the situation. I had no idea shit. But I just think it just goes back to his abandonment issues of when his mom passed away, everything that he had went through to get to where he was, being in his career and successful, and his mom passed away, kind of, burst his bubble of everything that he was, building career-wise, which is already pre-existing, issues, mental health issues. I don't think he's ever healed from that. That's why all the outside stuff that people talk about, and also always say he's still a musical genius. That's just the way I look at it. Everybody has issues, athletes, entertainers, artists, rappers, whatever you want to call them. And unfortunately, because he's where he was in his career, he had more of a spotlight on him and who he was married to and kids and all of that. So, I mean, it's just somebody's issues being personified in the media and just seen in a 24-hour news cycle on phone, TV, Twitter, Facebook, everything. So it's just, we're all exposed to it more, so it's not like he's doing, like I said, he hasn't had an outburst in a while, but because we've seen his outburst so many times over and over again, it's like this, here he goes again. I'm like, nah, the dude needs help. And hopefully he gets some help, and hopefully he's seeking help and taking his medicine or seeing his therapist or whatever he needs to do to get back right. And, hopefully live a healthy life, because you're not right in your own mind and in your own body. It's a rough life.
Especially, you brought up his mom. Kanye has stated that he felt guilty about what happened with his mom. If you feel like you could have stopped something, and that's the reason why she's gone, and then you go through things in life, I feel like if Kanye doesn't have control over a situation, he probably doesn't feel comfortable. Which is why it's been said numerous times that Kanye likes to be controlling of his women as well. This chick he's dating now, Julia Fox, apparently he's dressing her. Like day 2 of them dating, he got her a whole new wardrobe. On their second date, I think it was their second date, he got her a whole new wardrobe and did a photo shoot. But a lot of people are like, okay, wait, what? And then he's dressing her like him. It's kind of strange, but at the end of the day, people make light of Kanye. They joke and laugh. The same with Will. The same with Tyrese and many other um, of these famous people. And people don't understand. Number one, people's mental state of mind. That's fragile. That can be very fragile. And these people have feelings too. Just because they have a lot of money don't mean they, have an armor around their feelings and their heart and their mind. Um, we're living in an age where I think this is probably the coolest that humanity has ever been.
Well, social media. We don't. You gotta think about it like this. As black men, like when we playing sports, right? If you fall down and cry, what they tell you? Walk it off. Hold those tears. Don't cry. You soft. And then when you grow up to being a man and all you have is a powder cake of feelings, and then when something happens to you and you don't know how to release it, it's a lot.
Well, I feel like when I say it's the coolest that we've ever been, it's yes and no. I mean, obviously we've had some very, very dark times, but I feel like right now it's like even those dark times when we bring those up, there's such a disconnect from so many people. You have black and white people that are like, oh, get over it.
Yeah.
Get over it. And then even current things that are going on right now, they're get over this, get over that. Oh, you need to man up. You need to, and that's not how you should be.
True indeed.
I mean, people are deliberately going out to hurt each other.
Well, social media makes it hard for you to heal because how can I heal the pain of something if I go on social media, if I go on Twitter or IG or Snapchat and there's a million memes of me crying? How can I forgive that person that hurt me? Like if I was Will Smith, how could I forgive Jada when not only did you hurt me about the situation, but now I gotta get reminded of it every time I get on social media because I see my face with tears on it. Get the fuck out of here. That's just like society is cruel because we laugh at the joke, but we don't understand the pain.
And for me, when I watched that Red Table Talk, it was difficult to watch. It was kind of cringy. Like it was really difficult to watch because I feel like Jada was so nonchalant about
Yeah,
it.
she was.
And Will, you could
He was in
literally
pain.
see he didn't look right. He didn't even look at the expression on his face. His eyes were red.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And it's crazy to me because I post things like this quite often to shed light on things like that because I'm not a man basher. I'm not. And but when I put these posts up, a lot of these men that come onto my posts for different reasons, they're shocked. And I'm like, do you not pay attention to the other stuff I put in? I see a lot of women put things that are similar up too. And they're shocked. And they're like, I don't see women putting it. Well, that's what you're ignoring it. Or Facebook has chosen to only show you, because now we have the algorithms. They only show you what they think you want to see.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's just, it's sad. It really is. And like I said, we are all raised sometimes in a toxic way. And it's up to everyone that can identify with these toxic behaviors that we were brought up on to identify this, change it, and if you have children or children in your life, to try to bring people away from that toxic stuff because it's just
Problem with being toxic is half the time you're toxic. You have to take a step back, and the person has to want to grow and want to be a better person. And in this recent culture of folks jumping in and out of relationships, they don't give themselves time to heal from one relationship and jump into another one because they quickly want to blame the other person instead of taking a look in the mirror and see what role they played in that relationship and where it went. That's one of the things I had to face in my past that I would put it on young lady, but then you point one finger, then you got 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Right.
So you got to look at the role you played and how things went, and to do that, you have to be able to accept responsibility and be able to say, I'm sorry, and say I fucked up, not just to the other person, but to yourself. And that's the sad thing now, that people can't even admit the truth to themselves.
Right.
Because they're so worried about what everybody else thinks, or they're worried about somebody else on social media having a perfect life, a perfect relationship.
What they think.
Yeah, they taking pictures. That shit ain't real life. You put a GoPro on their shoulder all day, you're going to see they going through the same shit you're going through. They just got money and make it look good and got a hell of a 4K camera to make it look good on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, until folks can learn that, I don't know when folks thought they were supposed to be perfect and supposed to, know everything and have everything and figure everything out by a certain age. But if folks put too much pressure on themselves and put themselves in that mindset, and then once you get in that train of thought, it's hard to break it. I used to be a single track mind person, type of person where, I had my goal set, I would do whatever I got to do, and it might have been the easier way to do it, but because I'm so focused on this path, I didn't even see the other path, but I could have got there, easier because I was, didn't have an open mind and didn't take criticism or take advice from other people because I just didn't have the right mindset. But just because someone is criticizing you, that doesn't mean they're talking down on you or they're saying you're stupid. They're just trying to give you a different perspective to attack the situation you're going through, because maybe you're not having the success you want going the way that you're going now.
Right.
I try to do the same thing because I've made plenty of mistakes. I try to tell folks, this happened to me in that situation, so you shouldn't do that because you have to fuck shit up. But if they still do it, then hey, I try to give you a woman, try to get you're a grown man or a woman, do what you choose, but I'm trying to give you something, put in your back pocket, think about it. It might, come up in your life. If it don't, cool. That's why I feel like I've avoided a lot of bullshit, because I've always hung out with older folks and had older mentors and people that I talked to when I had issues. Because when you're talking to somebody in your same age group, they're not going to have good advice for you because they're going through the same shit you're going through. Mm-hmm. So it's trial and error for them to talk to somebody that's older, that's been through that. Not saying you have to do the same thing that they did, but at least you can have some insight from a different perspective to help you make a better decision and a better judgment. And folks don't take the time to do that. And I tell folks all the time, once I started playing chess, that helped me open my mind to different perspectives and different thought processes, because you have to know your opponent and use their thought process and their weaknesses against them without them knowing in order to beat them in the game. You got to make your next move your best move. Sometimes you got to sacrifice something to get the ultimate goal. And I'd never had that thought process before until I started playing chess. And once I started attacking that in the game, I was able to attack that in different parts of my life. So I mean, folks got to educate themselves and got to be willing to understand that they're not perfect. That you're going to fuck up. You have responsibility in your life also. Somebody had just come in your life and decide that they were going to do this and do that and do. You allowed that shit to happen. You saw the signs. You chose to ignore them because you want to be in a relationship, or he's not like that all the time, or I can change him or change her. Fuck that. I do my pre-interview before we even get to the relationship. If you can't deal with this, and this, we might as well just be friends, because this is how I am.
We need to get these questions on this pre-interview.
Yeah. If you can't communicate, you don't have your own mind and don't get swayed by your girlfriend and what they think a relationship should be. You don't know who you are and know what the hell you want. And how am I supposed to, know that?
Yeah.
And what do you consider a healthy and good relationship? I had a situation with one of my exes. We were all, once we moved in together, that's when things normally hit or miss. And she would always say, I don't feel like this is a good relationship. And I asked her, what is your definition of a good relationship?
Right.
She couldn't give me an answer.
But she knew the bad one.
But she knew the bad one. Exactly. So I'm like, so if you don't know what a good relationship is, and you can't explain to me what it is, how am I supposed to fulfill those thought processes or your goals of having a good relationship? Mm-hmm. And she sat there and thought about it. Like, I never thought about it that way. No shit. Because I'm sitting here jumping through hoops trying to figure out what the fuck.
What you want.
Yeah, and I hit a brick wall every time. And that's when I get to the point where I say, fuck it. I'm like, if you don't know what you want, ain't no way in the hell I can give it to you. So I might as well just sit over here and just let you be until this thing runs out. Because obviously you ain't going nowhere. I don't have a quitter mentality, so I'm going to ride it out till the wheels fall off the motherfucker. And that's been some of my problems in the past,
What was your most toxic trait?
But no, the ride it out to the wheels fall off. I've done that, and that's you gotta know when to exit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a problem with life.
True.
You stay in a relationship way too. But I think it's good that you talked about moving on from one relationship to the
Yeah,
next.
you gotta take some time for yourself.
I'm shocked that you said it.
Yeah, well, I'll never jump from relationship to
No,
relationship.
I'm not. It's not that I felt like you did it. It's just that it was sound advice, and I was like, "What?"
Come on, man. I
CP3?
told you.
It's a new CP3.
I feel like I'm film on some of my shows, man. I told you I can help you too.
Oh,
But no, because like I said, when I was in therapy, I had to do a lot of self-reflection, and because I had a lot of anger and a lot of stuff, and stuff that I was holding on to stuff from because I had an addictive personality, so I was holding on to stuff from decades ago, and I learned how to let that go, and then I had to learn how to love myself and embrace my weaknesses and my strengths, and then try to make my weaknesses, not my weaknesses, and try to work on them and be better. And then once you have that mentality that you're not perfect, you can always be a better person each day going forward. That's half the battle right there, man. And then just every day, you might have a rough day. Like I've had a couple of rough days lately, and I just get up next day, another day, shake it off. One day can change the whole month, and just try to keep going at it. So some of my folks be like, man, dog, how do you always stay? Yeah, because I've been on the other side of it. I've been the negative person who always think it's going to go bad. You can think that way, but life sucks when you think that way all the time. You can, you can think, that's my thing. I think about what could go wrong of whatever plan I'm trying to execute, so I can have a backup plan just in case it does. Not that I dwell on that, but I'm always going to look to the positive that it's going to work out. But you have to have a plan in case it doesn't work, because if it doesn't work, you don't have time to sit there and be like, oh shit, this fucked up. What am I going to do? Because then you're going to be in an even worse situation by the time you figure something out. So if you already have a plan, at least you can attack the plan once it goes that way, and you can at least try to get ahead of the curve and don't fall deeper into it. I think that's the issue right now, that people don't plan for a worst case scenario, and then when it goes bad, they want to sit there and wallow in it and whine to the world, oh, this is so bad. And then when it's time for plan of action, they don't have one. And then by the time they figure that out, it's already house and foreclosure, bankruptcy, whatever. And it's too late. So you got to be proactive in this shit. You just can't. The world is fucked up. Life is fucked up. Ain't shit fair about it. You born. You didn't choose to be born. You're here, but you got to make the best of what's here. Life ain't always gonna be the best, or it can always be fucking worse. Trust me. I'm going through some rough shit right now, but I still got a roof over my head. I got food to fill my stomach and money in my bank account. I know a lot of people that can't say that. So I'm not gonna sit there and wallow and cry about the shit I'm going through, because I know it could be worse, man. Y'all gotta realize that shit. This whole whiny bullshit. I swear, man. Y'all need to, hate to say it, we just talked about not saying it, but y'all need to man the fuck up and woman the fuck up sometimes, man. Life ain't fair. You gotta make the best of what's going on. I know shit is fucked up, but you gotta keep going forward. You gotta push forward. You can't just lay down and say quit. Fuck that, man.
Right. Well, honestly, it's you do have, on one hand, you do want to identify with people's struggles mentally, and on the other hand, you have to remind them that you're not supposed to sit around and think. You don't shut down because things don't go your way. I literally came across it was like a small clip. I think it was a pastor. I felt like he was a pastor. However, his message was, what your list or your plan isn't always what God has put forward to you. And there's some people that when you write out your list, when it don't go that way, you get upset, you get discouraged, you get angry. Things may not necessarily be bad for you. It's just not going the way that you planned. And you have to understand that it happened that way because that's not what was supposed to happen in your life. Just because it doesn't go the way that you thought doesn't mean that it's bad. And so,
the timetable also.
Right. Yeah, that too. They want things now, right now. But at the end of the day, I feel like in any situation, you have to really kind of look into yourself, know who you are, Even we're dealing with so many mental health crisis, situations across the country. Young kids, Regina King just lost her son. We have so many issues, and truth be told, like I went to school for psychology. That's what I went to school for, and
One of your good friends with CP3.
I think he needs divine intervention, though. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's a little more. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's why I say that.
Shout out to my homegirl Dion that's watching us on IG at CP3 yelling he needs cheeks.
Right.
Okay.
But I feel like I chose not to go into that profession. Well, it's not even true. It's one of those situations I had my plan and it didn't go the way that I thought it was gonna go. It didn't go with my plan. But I went to school for psychology and criminal justice, and I completely abandoned those things. But part of me is like, maybe you should go back into it because we have so many people that need help, they need assistance, that may be the field that I need to go back to because I went into HR, which psychology type of stuff does help.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally the counselor sometimes, and
Trying to get black off the field market. Yeah, brand new folks be hitting me up asking for
exactly. And it once you see that, it's just quite alarming the things that we see nowadays. More people are depressed. More people are going through not necessarily depression, but like on the verge of it when they get the blues.
Yeah.
They're feeling a little down, and that's natural. But people don't want to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, it'll spiral. It'll get worse. You'll be in that downward spiral, and all of a sudden now you can't get yourself out.
Yeah.
But we have to understand that about everyone else and be that listening ear and be there for other people versus tearing them down, because that's literally what our culture is right now. It's tearing other people down.
That's what makes it hard to be vulnerable because when you do, bare your soul and tell people what's going on, it's always the judgment.
Or people just don't care. It's not even judgment. Sometimes people are like, oh, okay, and keep it moving, and you can feel that, you get that vibe, and that's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I pour my heart out to you, you don't care.
Yeah. So
that's the worst right there.
Yeah.
But and the thing is, I've been that person. Like in my 20s, like
He was like, I don't care.
You fucking enough.
But see, here's the thing: it's so people don't understand. It's so much power in your words. Your words are so powerful. Even if it's something small to you, it could be major to somebody else. There've been things that I've said to other people, and they'll come back around to me years later. Man, when you told me such and such and such, man, you just don't understand. I had no idea.
There was things that I said in my 20s, and then I actually found some of the people who I dated, and I was like, I got to apologize.
Well, that's growth. That's growth.
And
I'm sure you have.
and they were like, why are you apologizing? I was like, because, and I had to tell one, and I had to tell people, I said, because I realized you probably loved the shit out of me at that particular time. And I said, at that particular time in my life, I didn't even love me. So I didn't understand how a motherfucker. I said my grandmother had died. My goal was to move back to New York and to live with my grandmother. And I was like, 3 months after I graduated in June, actually 2 months, by August, my grandmother was dead. And I was like, then on top of that, they thought it was a good idea for me to stay in New York by myself in the house of where my grandmother was,
right.
And live with this memory. And I said, I was almost not coming back to VA because me and my mom were beefing at the time. And by the time I came back here, I was just a ball of rage. I was just I'd already had a smart mouth, and then I had anger on top of having a smart mouth.
And
So now
see,
I didn't have now I had I don't give a fuck attitude.
that's how toxic behavior starts because you didn't check your anger. So that means anyone around you, you're gonna snap at.
Yeah.
And
And
you never know what your words say. With the words that you say, you don't know how it's gonna affect other people.
and that was a funny thing. Like I didn't even know I was angry. And I remember to this day. So this is a y'all can't see. So this is a flash that says 151 the People's Flash. It was given to you by my cousin John, who passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. I remember this conversation greatly. He had these. I don't remember the girls' names. Some girls, and I met him with him one night when I was getting off work. And the next time I seen him, I was down by my mom's house, and she had on. Y'all remember Guess jeans that had the question marks?
Yeah.
So she had the fake Guess that had the explanation points. There was some fake Guess that had explanation points. So she had on the fake Guess, and she said hi to me, and then I violated her for having the fake Guess on. And I remember her. She went and said when she saw John, and she said, "I see your cousin," and he was like, "He violated you, didn't he?" And she was like, "No." He said, "Don't." He said, "Don't lie. Joaquin violates everybody for no reason. This is his exact words." And then she was like, "Yeah, all I said was hi to him." And he just started joning and talking about me, and I didn't know what to say. I was.
I never fried anybody.
See, you felt like everybody was trying to provoke you. They may not have.
No, I had some. No, I had the ones that got it deserved it because I gave them. See, I didn't just Kirk out. I didn't really just go on you after the first or the second time. I gave you 3 strikes, and I give you a warning on that second. Like, look, I don't know if you mean anything by it, but the way you coming off, you're asking for something that you're not ready for. And I tell them, if you keep going this route, you're about to receive the cuts up that you never thought you would receive in your life. And then you're going to want to fight, and then we're going to go outside. I'm going to fuck you up off the property so I can keep my job, and I'm going to come back and come in here. So
What
you
is
don't want to
everything
go.
about your job?
Because I was trying to get my 20. I wasn't trying to lose my job.
Okay, here we go.
We was off the property.
For that business that remains nameless.
That's what I'm saying. I had so many situations that I had to offer him. I tell him, look, we can go outside, off property, away from cameras, and we can handle it since you obviously got a problem with me because you can't get me to do what you want me to do because I keep my handbook in my back pocket, and if it's not in my handbook, I'm not doing it. And I'm going to tell you I'm not doing it. So what the problem is? So sometimes you got to do that shit.
I told you, first of all, you walked around that building. For those who don't know, me and CP3 used to work together a long, long time ago. CP3, you walked around that building angry.
Because all of this shit they did to me.
But CP3, you were angry at like the first thing in the morning. Nobody had said anything to you yet, and you were angry.
Because that's the way I had to be. Because when I was in there and I tried to maintain and chill, they took my kindness for weakness. When I became confrontational, they left me the fuck alone. That's why I say sometimes.
But you were still angry.
Yeah, because they were still fucking with me.
But
when they fucking with your money and fucking with your vacation time and all that other bullshit, yeah, that shit. And you got to keep your cool. When they want to call the police on you,
See, I realized my toxic, what I was toxic about. But I would go off on some of this, and it all depends. Because some days you could do something big, and I might just be like, okay, whatever. But then you might catch me on that wrong day, and it could be something small, and my toxic behavior was just so extreme. Like I remember, and I'll never forget this. I remember once again with my cousin John. It was me, John, and his cousin Jason, little cousin Jason. So let me explain. I'm a New Yorker. So when we say cousin, don't mean to be that. I got people I call cousin I don't even know if I'm really related to. And that's been like that for 30 years. They be like, how do y'all, I don't know.
That's our culture.
So I was with John and Jason, and then John had this other dude named, I forgot, he was a twin. Shelton or some shit like that. So Shelton goes in front of me, and he said in front of me, he looked at Jason, And he said, give me a coat. And that's all he had to say. When I said I went to 0 to 1,000, like, as I think about it now, I probably could have handled the situation better. At that time, I was like, what the fuck did you just say? That's my first thing out of my mouth. And then I'm just like, yo, what the fuck did you say? I said, did you just tell him to get your coat? I said, I heard you say it. So before he can even answer, I'm answering the question. And I'm just like, yo, I'll smack the shit out you. That's exactly how I just responded. And he might have been playing. I don't give a fuck at this point. And then I'm like, so now the dude doesn't know what the fuck to do. He's like, yo. I'm like, no. So John's trying to calm down. I'm like, John, shut the fuck up. I don't want to calm down now. He triggered me. At this point, he triggered me. And all I can think about now is I'm going to slap the shit out of this dude. So now I look at Jason, I go, give him your coat so I can slap him. I was like, fuck that. Give him your... That's how toxic I was. I was like, go ahead. I was like, yo, Jason, take your coat off and give it to this nigga. I'm going to slap you. And dude's like, yo, I was just... Nah, motherfucker, you're not joking because you said it in front of me, and I don't think it's a joke. It's not funny to me. You trying to play like... And it could have been another... And it might have been another day. I might have been like, yo. That's cute. Don't disrespect him like that. And walked it off. Me, that particular moment, like I said, it would go from 0 to 2,000. I was like, yo, dude, I'll slap the shit out you. I was like, give him your coat. Dude is standing there like, yo. And he's probably looking at my cousin John like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga? But that's how I was. And I know that back then because I was angry. And when it come out, it could be something. Somebody could say something and I could be like, that's cute, and don't say anything. Then somebody could say something and I could be like, what the fuck? We about to fight. Or I would just be so mean about it that I would just... I made a dude almost change his clothes one night. We were at his house. We was at my cousin's house. And I never forget this. Me and another dude was having a drinking game. And yeah, because it involves alcohol. He lost.
Games are usually...
He lost. He wanted to go shot for shot with me, and he lost. I don't know why he wanted to do that. And this was like when I was really drinking. So he lost, and this dude was the nicest guy I ever knew. He was so chill and cool. He walked by me, and he had on like a brown tracksuit. And I was like, what is that shit, crushed velvet? And I was like, what color is that? Shitty brown? And then I just went on him. And then about a year or two later, when he said, dog, you almost made me change my clothes that night. He said, I've seen you do that to people. I just never thought you would have did it to me. He said, I walked by and I don't know what I did to you. And I said, you did absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. I was like, yo, you didn't even say anything. It just... Yeah.
What kind of shots were you doing?
Fucking I know. Oh.
Because sometimes that matters.
I was drinking 151. I had alcohol poisoning the next day. So I was drinking 151. I was drinking rum punch and then some other shit.
You drinking whites?
Probably.
It sounds like a bunch of whites.
It could have been whites and could have been mixed. I just know my mom let me lay on the floor and my friends came and got me and I threw up and I was sweating. And I was like, yo, something's wrong with me. And then when I got back in the house, I didn't even make it into the bed. I was still on the floor. My mother walks in. And my mom did the most gangster shit ever. First of all, someone called me. And my mom picks up my phone and was like, he's not going anywhere. It was like, yeah, because we had strippers at the party. And I was supposed to be paying the strippers that day. And my mom was like, yeah, he's not going nowhere. My son's not going nowhere. I'll tell him you called. I can hear her. I'm on the floor. I can hear her. And she's like, he's not going nowhere and bye. Because my mom's is a short 5-foot lady from New York, Scorpio. So when she tells you one time, he's not going anywhere. That's about the nicest that you gonna get. When you get to that second and third time, it's like, yo, you about to get cussed out. They didn't go the fourth time because she was just like, yo, what the fuck? Click. That's how she would have rolled. So my mom's like, yo, I can fix you. And then I said, cool. And I still have some 150 on that flask. I remember that. She said, you can drink what you drank last night. And I was like, not an option. Not an option. She was like, because it'll balance you out. I was like, I don't even want to look at this. She said, go to the store. I was like, you gonna go for me? She's like, nope. She's like, yeah. She's like, go to the store, get you an Alka-Seltzer and a Gatorade, and drink that, and then you'll be fine. And I drank Alka-Seltzer and a Gatorade, and I was good. But walking to that store with that alcohol poisoning and that hangover at the same time. Normally it's like a 5 or 6 minute walk. That day it felt like 2 hours. But but like I said, I realized that my level of toxicity would just go was like to the extreme. It was just to the extreme. Yeah, because you can stop lying.
No, I was, because I'll try to keep my head down and mind my business, especially when I'm on a job. When it comes to me.
What about in relationships?
Relationship?
You didn't do toxic shit in relationships?
I did. It wasn't off the break, but if something pissed me off that she did, I wouldn't communicate enough, and I just started doing toxic shit. So that was my problem. If she didn't, but then I would communicate for her to even know that whatever she did.
So
you was tough.
Yeah.
You was the whole toxic ball of everything.
What was the most toxic thing you did?
Also, after she had done some toxic shit too. I always go.
So like, what would she do to make you angry? Like what?
Be like one of my ex.
These could be some interesting conversations.
This her god brother or whatever, and then say her. We was talking about her parents, and I said, "So your folks come to pick you up?" She'd say, "Yeah," but then I came home early, and then her folks was her god brother to pick her up. So it was like,
was it really her god brother?
I don't know.
So why are you giving the quotation?
Because she had like 6, 7 god brothers that would always.
Were they brothers?
No, that was god brother. That's why I put the quotation, like we were just talking about how New York folks got cousins. You know how Maryland motherfuckers got god brothers.
I only say that. Actual god brother.
Yeah, well, you got the other brothers, everybody's the god brother. So when they come around, you're supposed to be cool. Like, nah, and then, once I saw that, I'm like, okay, then my toxic nature kicked in, and she's actually all super protective. So, I mean, like I said, this when something happens, then
So that was at the beginning of the relationship?
No, that was the end of it.
Did you ever meet these god brothers?
Nah, because it started on social media. Once we posted that we were in a relationship, and then
all the god brothers came out.
Then first it was, I didn't know you were looking for a man. I would have, So I'm like, yeah, all of that shit, and she wouldn't, disregarded them. It's like, I appreciate it. I'm like, you upset with me because I'm answering football questions to females, and they might say, thanks, baby, and I don't say nothing back, but you get upset with me, but you're not shutting this shit down.
But why you ain't shut it down, baby?
At that time, I was building my brand. So that's why I told you, it's just sports and me building my brand and getting followers. I need female. I'm still trying to engage more female listeners and female.
To some women, that's fine.
That's cool. But if you understand that if I'm taking you to work, I'm picking your son up from daycare, going to work, and doing that. I mean, when did I have time when I'm working?
So
overnight.
So CP3. CP. So we got.
I was working. No.
So what you did made her mad, and so she might have reacted. She might have done the same thing that you did. You let these girls call you baby. Yeah, made her angry, so she started having this toxic behavior.
No, that was going on before. That's what I'm saying. It was one random conversation out of like dozens I have on my page, and she finds that one. Well, she said, "Babe, but you got these motherfuckers basically propose to me on your page, and you don't say shit." So because she responded to that, and I didn't say, "Don't call me baby" or say some shit like that, I'm in the wrong. Nah, fuck that.
So CP3.
Yeah.
Shout out to DJ Grip and Tiana Tasty. It could have been she put. It could have been anybody. It could have been anyone. It was your mental state at the time. You just wanted the. He was just the one to knock the chip off your shoulder. But growth is an amazing thing. And then when you started talking, she put so you didn't trust her.
Well, I mean, like I say, we had situations like that. I mean, after that, yeah, that's why I said on the last one too, because don't play word games. You know what the context
That's
was.
not a word game. It's either truth or a lie.
No, when you say your folks, when she know we're talking about her parents, and when she her folks means her God, she was playing word games. And I'm like, oh, we can play word games because I'm the king of that shit. And as I said last night,
just left the relationship.
But
like I said, her name is only to need the money for the rest of the fucking week for the rent.
Now I'll tell you like this. I had a female put me in a bad situation that made me that and I reacted toxic. But like we needed a ride. We was going somewhere, and she put me in a car with a dude she used to fuck, and it was her best friend's like god brother or something. And yeah, so I'm sitting. I noticed some things, and then I was just like,
you noticed some exchanges of looks.
yeah. And then when I had the I was like, oh, so y'all used to date, and then she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, so then when we had the conversation, I because of how elusive her answer was, when we did have the conversation, like I really did blow up, and I think I even wound up breaking up. But I was like, I can't trust you because I was like, why would you sit me in a car with this nigga?
Without telling you beforehand.
Yes, I was like, had you told me beforehand, I would have told you I'd rather walk still, but I would respect it that you at least told me. To tell me afterhand.
You don't always have to tell everything, but something like that, I feel like it is important because it's a respect thing.
Yeah, because now I feel like this little midget nigga is laughing at me, and I want to fuck him up now. Because the nigga was like 3 apples high.
Okay, but why you not go in on him? He ain't do nothing. He ain't the one that you was dating and not telling the truth. You know what I mean? He just got the call and was like, all right, cool, I help you and your dude. He might have been feeling that way too.
Tiana Tasty says, shout out to Lady Antoinette for holding it down for the ladies.
Still trying to hit.
I think he was.
Okay, but that's not always the situation. That might not always be, that may be why he said, yeah, I'll take you. But that don't mean that he was pursuing her. At the end of the day, he may have felt some kind of way that she even opened her mouth and called him to pick y'all up. You see what I'm saying?
Any nigga get that call, he think he still got a shot.
In my mind, he does.
Any nigga get that call from a chick,
I wouldn't have done that. But I mean, that's just me.
I mean, it was in my early 20s, and I didn't play that shit. I was just like, yo, we done. Like,
do that shit to me. I
don't understand why she didn't say nothing to you before.
And then she looked at me like, why you overreacting? Why the fuck did you put me in a position?
Yeah.
I told her, I said, why the fuck you put me in a position with this nigga where I feel this nigga is laughing at? And I was like, then on top of it, it ain't like I'm gonna see this nigga anytime soon to really fuck him up. So now you really got me messed up because now I'm just angry to be angry. Like,
but he found out the actual truth after the fact.
I don't give a fuck.
You just
once you said you used to fuck this dude, like you said, like you think you little nigga laughing, you gotta get this nigga right and shit. Yeah. Trade the whip. Fuck that. See, that's the type of toxic shit that
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was still hitting it after a while, but still.
Talk about while we were on the way where we driving the loft. I ain't talking about later on.
The thing about it is, I'm figuring it out as we're going to where we will go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, it wasn't
confirmed.
confirmed. Like, I started to notice signs. I ain't a stupid nigga, so I'm like, hold on, this little inside jokes they laughing at. Oh, y'all, ha, kiki. When y'all about to get fucked up in this motherfucker?
Yeah, see, that's interesting. Because it's bad enough that he came to pick y'all up and she didn't tell you the nature of the relationship that they had. But then to laugh and joke like that.
Yeah.
You said taste.
I didn't have a taste.
Wait till you got to the stoplight. Wait till you get to the stoplight.
You don't like life, do you?
I didn't have a taste. I didn't have a taster back then. I had a knife. So I would have to cut both of them.
And you got to where you got to.
And that joint was always on me.
So no one can talk about me. Here we go. We didn't ask you that. I said no one can talk about me having protection on me at all times. It is protection for security purposes.
Concealed weapon for them to pull up. They call it what it is.
It is not a concealed weapon. It is for self-defense.
Really?
Okay. To attack you first before you can pull up.
Yes.
I'm just making sure we got to say that.
First of all, you forget that my father and so many other people in my family were police officers. So I already know they have to hit you first.
I mean, when they breathe.
Hey, I said they have to hit you first. I already know.
Oh,
now, what I say shouldn't matter. If they can't control their emotions because of what someone says to them, that's their fault. That's their problem, not mine.
Tiana Tasty said, the feelings wasn't hurt. You still fucked her. Yeah, I mean, the feelings was hurt, but I still need some head that night.
Nut have nothing to do with each other. To a man.
I disagree.
No, because as a man, I didn't have sex with chicks that I know I don't like.
Yeah, but flip it. If it's a chick that you do like, then it matters.
In the early stages of it.
Sometimes, if it's a chick that you do like, or you really feel it and you really, really love, any of those, it's a fact. I've seen it. Sometimes, I mean, women do it too. People act stupid for other people all the time.
Yeah.
Chalk it up. Hey, I hit it. She don't like it more than hitting it once.
But I mean,
I only get a return trip. I hit it more than once. I'm happy. If it ain't going nowhere after that, hey.
So if you don't get a return trip, you're mad?
Yeah, that means I ain't do my job. Fuck that. That's my goal.
You don't know.
Women don't think like that.
Some women. The funny thing is, some women actually use dudes for one night stands, and then have you ever had a woman use you for a one night stand?
I had one.
And you be like, and then you realize.
So wait, if y'all talking, and then you only hit it one time, that's not a one night stand. Am I right?
Okay.
So you can't say one night stand.
Okay, but have you ever had a woman just use you for sex?
One time. One time.
So you consider that you were talking for a amount of time. If you have sex one time and they roll, that's not considered a one night stand.
No. A one night stand is somebody who met that one night.
This nigga's really thinking about it.
Yeah, that's what a one night stand is. Am I right?
That's technically what a one night stand is.
Yeah, one night stand is you meet that person that night, you smash, and then you go about your business. That's what that is.
You ever had that happen?
Yeah. And at the gas station. Some chicks picked me up.
When they kidnapped.
Yeah, when I got kidnapped.
Yeah, if you hear him, that's right. Yeah, he can't even remember
They can't remember that story. I mean, it's just great because like I remember having a chick and I was like, yo, did you just treat me like a booty call? She just came over, got something wrong.
Okay, that happens. I don't see what the problem is.
It was cool.
But sometimes men are in their feelings with that.
It was cool, but it was just like the first time that happened, I was just like, it threw the fuck out of me. I was like, what? Because I'm sitting there like,
y'all like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang. Remember he?
Yeah.
You leave money on the nightstand. You start looking at yourself like,
he gonna leave $40.
Yeah. Like,
you be like, yo, did she just stop me out?
Busted nut, bro. Yeah, I had to have it. It was, it wasn't bad. I just called somebody. So
that's forward.
I was in my hormone. Like, oh, you gonna go? All right. Wait 10 minutes.
You be thinking, oh, she about to sleep over,
yeah.
Or is she gonna lay?
Change the sheets and everything.
And then she look at you and hit you with that, okay, baby, just leave.
Have y'all ever been in a situation where you had like a consistent chick, but you realize you ain't never been in her house?
Yeah.
Nah, it's a requirement. Like, third time, you never come up here.
Nah, man. Sometimes she need to be incognito, man.
No.
I had a chick that was living down the street, but she would just always come over my house.
See, I had a 2-mile radius rule. I ain't smashed nobody within 2 miles.
That's smart.
Yeah. That's riding by, see my car outside. That's why I always have multiple cars.
I'm just saying, dog. I've been in some weird scenarios. I had some people that like, dog. I had some people like, yo, so I when I was living down the street, they be like, hey, we come to your house? No. We go to a motel. Like, you come on my house and chill, and we would still go to the motel. I don't want to get you too comfortable.
Getting here in the backyard with your girlfriend pulling up out front. Uncomfortable that is?
Toxic. We just said how toxic you can be.
That's some of the shit that I've been through, man. I was a victim.
That's not you being
Still a victim. How you?
You're creating your scenario.
She called me out. She said I was scared to get here in front of everybody.
So that made you a victim?
Yeah.
No. You his voice down.
Nigga, you need to look up the word victim.
I was like, what you gonna do? Are you scared?
Yes.
I couldn't
You're
have
supposed
nobody
to say yes.
Couldn't have thinking I was scared. I was touching around.
You had a whole time.
We technically wasn't together officially.
Okay.
We was just fucking.
Guess what? Yeah, it was a problem.
Technically, nah, she never found out about that.
About that time.
But that time, so there was other times.
It was good. I told you, head is my weakness, man. I'm sorry, man. Shawty had a mouth order, man. I knew what that mouth did.
You know.
So in front of everyone?
No, we went around the back. Everybody was in front, and we went around the back. We were sitting around a little campfire.
And at no point you don't think that you were toxic in this relation in that part.
I was living a life, dog.
Clearly.
I was making money, working legally. I was making money doing things illegally. I was the hottest nigga around the block. Had a fresh new truck.
At one point, did you think you were toxic?
It was only after she got me on some get back. That's when I realized I fucked up my world. And I felt what she felt all the time. I fucked around with her. That's the only time I realized. And I just say you never know.
So she had to get you back.
This was after we had broke up and became friends. I had a situation where I can't remember where I was living somewhere and I had to roll, and I ended up moving in with her for it was supposed to just be for a little while. We were just friends, except we wasn't even the same, but we wasn't really fucking all the time. But because we weren't together, I was still doing other things. And lesson for you gentlemen that date white women, they'll let you slip up and fuck a sister because they feel like you miss home. But if you fuck around and fuck a white girl on them, oh man, don't do that shit. Let them find out.
The fact that you know this.
Yeah. I told you I try to educate so they don't make the same mistakes that I did.
So how'd you get caught?
This was before camera phones, and I used to keep a picture.
And you still got caught. I'm glad that they didn't.
Well,
you used to keep a picture, but
it's something that me and my folks we used to keep, pictures of what we do. So I left my wallet at home and didn't go back to get it, and I should have known she was gonna go through it. She saw a couple of pictures of some white female. So
how many fucking pictures did you have in your wallet?
And you kept it in your wallet.
Wallet size pictures for your wallet, but come on, man, that makes sense.
You wanted to give up.
I didn't give up because I got away with so much. I didn't think I thought I was in person.
That's the main issue right there.
Yeah, I had got away with so I had done so much shit. She had done so much shit. I was like,
So what you do? Hit one of your boys?
Nah, well, I don't know. That wasn't, but not that time. This time she hit me with she played a cool card. Let's go. I'll come home one day. She hit me with the I'm dating someone right now. I don't think it's appropriate for us to go together. So we got like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. She hit you hard.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
She hit me with a meat.
Yeah.
Hey Dad, I need a truck. Yeah, that shit hurt. She hurt.
Oops.
Yeah, that's when I learned. Sorry, motherfucker.
Yes. Yes, you are. But you still did some toxic stuff after. I know you did it.
To her.
To anybody.
Let me think. Nah, after that, I was pretty much on the straight and narrow because that was a long stretch before I got into a relationship. I think, yeah. And that's what I was in with the chick that was moved in Houston. The only reason I didn't work, like I said, when she started working in Africa, it was gone for 6 months at a time. I couldn't work.
I think one of the most funny toxic revenge a female did to me was, I'll never forget this, Jay.
You did it to you?
Yeah. We went out to eat. I don't know how the conversation, we were both Geminis, I think. This was Gemini.
So y'all both
So,
crazy.
yeah, so what started as a fun conversation became a fucked up conversation. And I wanted to leave, but I couldn't because I think I left my clothes over her house or whatever. And I was like, fuck, I don't even want to see her no more. But then she had my clothes and she knew it. So we basically had to stay the night together, hating each other's guts. And I remember she hit me with that. I think I had called her for something, and she hit me with that, I'm pregnant. And I was sweating. I was like, what the fuck? She said, you tell your mother yet? I was like, hell no. And and the day I was about to tell my mother, she called me. She's like, oh yeah, I was just joking. I just wanted to see what you were going to do.
Hey.
I really...
Lucky
Doing that shit on me. I didn't have my sisters because of it. Fuck her.
Oh my God.
I'm playing games like that. Nah, we don't play like that around here.
But sometimes I gotta look back and I think some of the shit that I did deserve that because of my mouth and shit that I was saying.
Yeah.
And then I had to learn to be less toxic because I would just say whatever come to my mind. Like if I wanted to say shut the fuck up, I'd say shut the fuck up.
See, that's why the calculated move is much better because when you do it at the right time and it hurts their soul, they make sure that they never want to be seen or say nothing to you ever again because they remember that pain they felt at the lowest point that they were at that time. That's just me.
You know what? We're gonna play some music. Your shit is way too dark.
You're really weird.
Just saying, I got time on my hands.
Like my shit be dark. Your shit be like.
You got time on your hands, so this is the reason why you're the way that you are because you have time.
Yep. After I get all work, I'll just go home and just be in my dog and just be in my thoughts.
Yeah, we need to get you a hobby because something's not right.
That's why I come to the show, man. Something good, bro. If not, I don't know.
You don't know what. You can get darker, you go slip down the black hole.
It's a slippery slope, man. Trying to walk straight and narrow, and it's a daily struggle.
This man is something else.
You got problems.
He does. He really does.
Trying to
make what?
Trying to make it everything. Trying to be a man, better man than I was today.
Baby simple.
Swayze, why you do it to
I was trapping, I was stressed. Now I'm rapping, getting blessed. I wanted first, won't go for seconds, and I still got that weapon. If I got it, I might sell it. Please don't try to test me, cause you know, look, CJ stepping, way he walk, he talk, he different. Only 18 and he pimpin'. Homies hating from a distance. I know why these niggas shitting, cause I'm doing it and y'all didn't know a mill is waiting on me. I can't stop until I get it. I can't fall, I'm on my pivot. Used to crash out on the cinch, but I can't. I built my business by a beat pad and a pencil. Sound proud of you, first lady. Yeah, I'm glad to see us winning. Yeah, it's time to paint a perfect picture, but we ain't no perfect niggas. Money, clothes, glocks and hoes. That's how all my niggas roll. Smoking Zion, don't ask me why. I stay high, nigga. Yeah, I know what's going on. Always high. Let's talk about my hoes. I got Aisha and Felicia. I be hunching on Felicia. I be dogging out Felicia. Nice to meet you. And this is my class, I am the teacher now. Pass the blunt. This is that gas, I blow your speakers out. On the charts, I'm talking 21, ain't talking savage. Please don't try me like no average. Yeah, that talent I been had it. Breaking all my bad habits. Getting rich and living lavish. Ashley is a good man, but the streets, they make me wretched. Streets talk, young nigga, ayy. Get that money, stack your phone was filled with nothing but them addicts. Now it's nothing but the baddest. Used to sell weed out of bags. Flexing cause I never had it. Hate, I'm in a different bracket. Drink too much, can't let them catch it. Show my ass, they swear I'm adding extra. They hating cause they want a feature. Watching cause they know I'm pressure. I ain't sorry that I'm special. Take a picture, write a letter. Know my days is getting better. Even in the hills, I still need salt and pepper. Money, clothes, glocks and hoes. That's how all my niggas roll. Smoking I don't ask me why. You know Simba always high. Let's talk about our hoes. I got Aisha and Felicia. I be hunching on Felicia. I be dogging out Felicia. Nice to meet you. And this is my class. I am the teacher now. Pass the blunt. This is that gas. I blow your speakers out. On the tracks, I'm talking 21. Ain't talking savage. Please don't try me like no average. Yeah, that talent I been had it.
You know, CP3 really loves that record. Y'all don't see CP3 in here dancing. He be on some funny shit. What's going on with the game, CP3?
It's a very interesting game. San Francisco's up 10-7.
Yay.
Third quarter with 10 minutes left. Rams are trying to drive to get a tying field goal or to get a touchdown. They had a wide open wide receiver. That ball bounced off his hands. That would have gave them a 7 lead, but unfortunately couldn't capitalize after that. And San Francisco went down and kicked the field goal. Now the Rams are driving. They're on San Francisco's 44. Now 2nd and 1, and we got 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Look like this is probably going to come down to the end, just like the previous game. But this is the third time these teams played. San Francisco beat the Rams twice, I believe. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season, but San Francisco is trying to do that to get to the Super Bowl, and I hope the Rams break that streak and keep Trent Williams' punk ass at home.
I want this. I
Damn.
want San Francisco. Oh.
Our co-host Anna is a 49ers fan, and I was rooting for the first 2 weeks when I had something. Sorry. Once y'all picked up Trent Williams, I'm going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Just can't do it. I have a vindictive personality. When you say some of the stuff you said about my favorite team, yeah, you're done. Yeah, just like me and the bar. It was cool. He said that shit about Joe Gibbs. Then he went out on his bike, got in Carroll, and signed with the Giants in his career. I'm not saying I'm happy about that.
Not saying that you have anything to do with it.
I didn't put that gravel on that turn on 450.
My God.
I didn't know he was going to be going that way. But calm as a motherfucker. But, you know, when you say stuff like that, like I still, you know, the situation, you know, cancer, you know, glad he's better. But it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you go to a sports medicine doctor instead of a doctor? You got a black wife, they gonna tell you go get a second opinion. Come on now. Somebody in your family, hey man, you need to get that checked out, man. That's a sports medicine doctor. He don't know about pumps and shit. And you're gonna play victim, and then when the team says, okay, let's investigate, you like, no, we don't need to investigate. Well, say that's the fuck you want then. Don't try to make some big dramatic. Then they get a thing on ESPN Plus. They did his surgery and had a documentary about that shit. If you wanted some money for it, just do that shit. Don't be trying to, you know, cannibalize my franchise so you can get an extra paycheck, man. Fuck him.
Anything else you want to say about
Right. All right. You good? Did you get it out? Did it feel good to get it out?
It couldn't have. That's the same rating we went on last week about.
Real, dog. It's real. And it came out here. It's serious.
Nigga, you might be the pettiest nigga on earth.
No,
You, nigga. You still holding a grudge from
years ago.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
About 4 or 5 years ago.
Nigga, 5 years.
I feel like it's been longer. We've been in this pandemic we've been rocking with this pandemic for a minute. And it was a few years before the pandemic.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5.
I feel like
I think it's 4 years with the San
You a wild boy. You a wild boy. See,
yeah, we talk about Well, we like I said, we was cool on Twitter, and then me and his co-host at the time, Chad Dukes, got into it.
Why'd you get into it with the co-host?
Because I told him he didn't know nothing about sports. Only reason he was on there because he was sucking up our dick the whole time.
And you don't think that?
Yeah. What did LeVar have to do with that? Why did you?
Because LeVar tried to come to his defense. So, you know.
It wasn't LeVar supposed to come to his defense?
No, I mean, I was speaking the truth. Because he don't know shit about football. That's why he was taken off the air not 9 months after we got in that instant confrontation on Twitter. He blocked me and shit. I still told him fuck him. But yeah, especially the DC sports media, these folks that they never played a down of any sport in their life and criticize an athlete. I can't stand that shit.
So several weeks ago, we didn't have the show that week. We Kumo D had put up a report card.
Oh
yeah.
That was interesting.
It was interesting. Let me see if I can find this report.
I glanced, I didn't even look at it.
I don't remember. Did you text us or send us on social media?
I think I might have sent it. So some of this stuff I find. Yeah, I got this shit.
You texted us.
I did. So.
He gave himself a.
So let me read some of this stuff. Kumo D, and the categories are. Oh shit. Let me see the text.
You want me to read the categories?
Yes, because.
Okay. So on his report card, we graded on different things, and then the average of that grade determines your rating. The first is vocabulary, then articulation, creativity,
Yeah.
originality, versatility, voice, records, stage presence, sticking to themes, innovating rhythms.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm glad that he didn't give himself like tens all the way across, but I feel like if he did that,
So,
then he would be lasted. So he kind of like, you
so keep in mind, I'm a Kumo D fan. He's not an A plus.
know.
Let's get that out the break. Um, he had some songs, and he had some trash songs.
He rated himself a 10 on a lot of these
Yeah, I
things.
vocabulary I can give him a 10.
I can give him a 10 on sticking to themes.
Um, versatility I can't give him a 9. I'd probably give him maybe a 5 or a 6.
I wouldn't give him a 10 for creativity.
Records I would not give him an 8. He's more like a 5, maybe a 4. He had some big records, but he didn't have like if we're comparing catalogs, like him and the LL, have way bigger records.
But he gave LL a lot less than he gave himself.
Yeah.
Like he gave LL for originality a 6, but he gave himself a 10. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that neither. I definitely don't.
And then
Innovating rhyme.
it's weird. First of all, the category for voice, that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
Because like even you're rating another man's voice, but he gave like LL a 9, gave himself a 10. Going down, Dougie Fresh, he gave his voice an 8. Biz Mark, I guess it's supposed to be Biz Markie.
Yeah.
An 8. Run DMC, he gave him an 8 for voice. Fat Boys, Houdini, 8.
So I don't even want to cut you. So here's something really crazy. For vocabulary, right? He gave Rakim an 8 and KRS-One a 7.
And gave himself a 10. You see what I'm saying?
Those dudes are way more articulate than Kumo did.
And Heavy D, he gave Heavy D a 7.
He gave Public Enemy, Chuck D, a 7 for vocabulary.
Okay, so he gave Master P a 6 for vocabulary. I agree. He gave Jay-Z a 7. DMX a 7.
How you going?
DMX though, come on. For vocabulary. Matter of fact, he rated Jay-Z at 82. He gave himself a 95.
He gave Big Pun. Have you not heard of Big Pun album? He gave Big Pun an 8 for vocab. He gave Big Pun an 82. Articulation. Big Pun a 7.
He gave Redman 89.
How?
Redman, come on now. Nas, he gave an 84.
Nas, he gave an 84.
He gave Jay-Z an 82. I feel like Cool D is so petty.
This has to be the most pettiest list ever.
He gave Sticky Fingers a higher score than Jay-Z. And wait, Mystical got a higher score.
He gave Razzcast a higher score than Jay-Z and Nas.
And Tretch. He gave Tretch one.
Now, I would say this about Tretch. Tretch was very lyrical.
But he gave him a 9 for vocabulary and articulation. He gave himself a 10 in those categories. Method Man got a 91.
He gave Lil' Kim an 80. How you gonna give Lil' Kim an 83 and Jay-Z an 82? Yo, this is the funniest shit ever. He gave Mace a 79. Well, I don't like Mace, so I could agree with
I mean, yeah, it's Mace. He gave Too Short a 76.
He
And
gave
Master P got a 76.
he gave Common an 88.
Corrupt got an 86. But he gave Lauren Hill a 97.
Yo. Puffy got an 80.
Nah, he
How the
should
fuck
get
that happened? This nigga shit.
no shade, Puff. But Kumo D, I feel like he really.
This is some trolling shit before trolling became a
He
word.
gave Biggie in 95, Tupac in 93, Mace, of course, he said 79. But he gave Puffy a higher score than Mace.
And Mace wrote his rhymes. He gave Black Thought, who's one of the most underrated MCs in '87.
Black Thought should get way. And then Buckshot got 83. He got higher than Jay-Z. Foxy got the same as Jay-Z. She got an 82. He gave Mac 10 higher.
83.
And like I said, Sticky Fingers got higher. And Mystical got an 80. He got a 90. So it's, I don't know. Did you see anything, any reasons why he felt this way? Because I feel like.
I mean, it's his opinion. So.
He gave Curtis Blow an 81.
He gave Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince an 88.
Mm-hmm. He gave Heavy D an 83. Public Enemy only had an 80. Like, I feel like
Public Enemy had an 80, but UTFO had an 89.
That's funny. Yeah, because Public Enemy got an 80, but
Public Enemy has the same.
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was 88.
Public Enemy, who made Fight the Power one of the most powerful records ever, has the same score as Ultramagnetic MCs, who most motherfuckers don't even know about.
And Grandmaster Flash, 81. Like, he gave himself and Melly Mel 95. And I feel like that was the highest.
The highest was Lauryn Hill.
No, the highest he gave anybody.
The highest was Lauryn Hill. 97.
Right. So he feel like Lauren is the only one better than him?
But where the fuck is MC Lyte?
She not even on me.
Where the fuck is Queen Latifah? And don't get me wrong, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is one of my favorite albums. But there's other females on here.
Foxy, Lil Kim, Lauryn Hill, that's the only people. And real talk, that just kind of sheds light of back in the day, the female MCs didn't get no respect. So he ain't put them on it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
No Salt and Pepper, no nothing.
It kind of made me mad a little bit.
And how did he put Public Enemy, but then put Sticky Fingers by himself?
By himself. He said forget Fred Drew and everybody else. That's funny though, but like, I feel like he was being funny.
He gave Mos Def an 85.
I feel like it was a popularity thing for him. And Mos Def should not have had an 85. He deserves it.
San Francisco has just taken the lead, made their lead bigger with a impressive touchdown throw. I believe it was to Yip or was it to Debo? I can't tell if it was 11 or 19. It was a great throw, fade route. Well, that's what it was Kittle. I'm sorry. Kittle was tight end. He's been pretty quiet, but he just made some noise. About to be 17-7 San Francisco.
And
Third quarter with 2 minutes.
Shout out to DJ Grip. DJ Grip says Kumo D is smoking something.
That's what I'm saying though. Like,
Yo, clearly he was high when he wrote this list. This shit is funny.
It's awful. Like,
Bobby Brown, old school rapper.
Well, yeah, because he thinks he's like, first of all, there's no other man that's higher than him.
Yo.
And Lauryn Hill is the only one that has a higher score than him.
First of all, Kumo D only had maybe 2 albums.
Who's the hottest MC?
But Lauryn Hill had 1.
That's
By
true.
herself.
However, Lauryn Hill album, 1 album is better than Kumo D's catalog.
But I'm just saying, like,
We still, outside of Wild Wild West, we still quote.
That's pretty much all I think about.
Right, when you think of Kumo, yeah.
And then Will Smith, you know, his Wild Wild West, but yeah.
That's probably why he gave Will such a love score. He's like, oh, your Wild Wild West did better than mine. It really did.
He stole my shit.
But it got. It got.
I mean, Will Smith back in the day was very creative. I mean, parents don't understand.
But he gave a low score in originality.
You know, I think I could beat Mike Tyson. I mean,
Nightmare on
Elm Street. Yeah.
I felt like those were creative.
Summertime.
We didn't have these things at that time. We didn't have anybody like Will Smith.
No.
Until Will Smith came
And Will Smith wasn't trying to be like nobody else.
He was completely.
He was like, I'm cookie cutter and I know it.
He was such a weirdo that it worked.
Parents just don't understand. Come on now, that video was crazy.
A weirdo, and he knows it.
And he transitioned from being a hip hop star to being a TV star. Like,
and then a big, huge movie star.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Kumo was clearly smoking something because that list was some trash. That report card was some trash. Like real talk, that report card was some trash. I just had to. When I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, the only reason that the snow saved him for this conversation, but
yeah, because we
was gonna tear that shit apart. Man, I was looking at it, I was like, what the fuck?
Like, bless his heart. He had a bless his heart moment.
First of all, when you Rakim is one of those dudes that changed the way people rapped. Kumo D is not one of those dudes of vocabulary and voice that made niggas want. I don't know no nigga growing up that said I wanted to rhyme like Kumo D. Everybody on our block wanted to rhyme like Rakim. Then after the Rakim era stopped, everybody wanted to rhyme like Redman.
Right, and see, here's the funny thing. For Redman, he put sticking to themes at 8. Redman showed us that he can stick to the theme.
Redman taught a whole generation of how to roll a blunt. I don't know how you get more specific than that. I don't even smoke, but I know how to roll a blunt thanks to Redman.
And articulation, he gave him a 9. And creativity, 9. You said what?
That's how a lot of niggas learn how to roll.
Yeah, from his song. And poor Ice Cube. Oh my God.
He did Ice Cube dirty. Did he put Ice T on there at least? Or just Ice Cube? I didn't see Ice T.
I don't think so. I don't think he liked him too much. Probably less than what he liked everybody else. And Too Short.
I don't think this
oh
nigga.
My God, he gets Too Short such a low score. It don't make no sense.
Can't fall Too Short.
Too Short, he ain't give him.
He ain't like the Beastie Boys. He gave them motherfuckers a C.
Yeah, he gave Too Short a C. Too Short had a 76. Yeah, he did some people dirty.
Watching football.
Please don't go off on nobody.
No,
He gave. What? I don't know no nigga that ever bought a Just Ice album.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he gave that nigga 82. And I know who Just Ice is. But
so he put Boogie Boys on there.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
He gave Boogie Boys higher than the Beastie Boys. Ultramagnetic got an 80. Like
you said, this is his opinion.
It's his opinion, but like I said, how you gonna have Ultramagnetic? Like I said, I know who they are. I've never bought their shit. Kool Keith, I know who Kool Keith is. He rhymed without really trying to rhyme, and he sucked. The same grade as Public Enemy. Like, don't believe the hype and fight the power.
Wait. You see Public Enemy, right? And look at the 2 under it. Go ahead and read that out.
Stetson Sonic and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5.
See who got the highest. So out of those 3, Public Enemy got an 80.
How the hell Stetson Sonic get higher than Public Enemy? And then Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Like, them nigga, if you ain't from New York or you wasn't born in the 80s, you don't give a fuck about how Sally walks. Because that's the only song they really had popular. And no one talking all that jazz.
Bless his heart. That's all we can really say.
Yeah, I don't know about Bless His Heart because like real talk. I ain't a Mace fan, but
He did the Mace shit.
this nigga he just pissed on Mace.
Did you see Houdini? He did the dirty too.
What did he give Houdini?
He gave him an 86, but like they got a 7 on vocabulary.
I can see that because
I can see that.
I can see that though because Ecstasy, the dude who passed away with the hat, was good. The other nigga was not that good.
But then like he gave him 8 on voice, which is I still find that weird. 8 on articulation, but for me it's like I understood every word they said. That's not some people on this list you can't do that.
He gave Tupac an A.
But Biggie got a higher score than Tupac. So we know what side he's on with that.
He gave Tupac an A, but then he gave Snoop an 87.
And Nas an 84.
And Corrupt an 86. He got Snoop.
Yep. Under Corrupt. I mean, right there with Corrupt, I mean.
Damn.
Yeah.
This
Keith Murray got higher than Ice Cube.
what?
Mm-hmm. Keith Murray got higher than Ice Cube. Keith Murray had an 89. Ice Cube had an 88. But I mean, that just goes to show that sometimes these things are.
He gave Houdini a higher score than Curtis Blow.
I know, I think that.
UTFO had a higher score than Curtis.
That just shows that some of these things are circumstantial.
That just shows to quote Dave, to quote the late great. No, was it Charlie Murphy? No, it was Dave Chappelle who said it in the Rick James skit. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Cause you gotta be smoking something to say some of the shit on here.
Well, he said that because I think Rick, what he said.
Yeah.
Things are like assholes. Everybody has one most of
Got to say stuff.
Good, straight to the point.
Well, no, I mean it makes for interesting discussions.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially him. Who are you judging anybody? Your career was that long.
But he said he got 95.
Graduated in 95.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, Kumo D was in Beat Street. He was part of the Treacherous 3. He battled LL. He conducts right now a hip hop tour in New York. But you know, me personally, when he did he had some great lines. He got a lock on my jock like a pit bull. When he broke with all the stuff that LL meant was really cool and stuff like that. However, it never hit. His diss never stopped the career of LL. Kept making hits.
Right.
Kumo D stopped.
Yeah.
After Jiggling Baby, Kumo D stopped. And even when they had the Beef DVD that came out years ago, like you know, Kumo D didn't really say too much. He talked about his beef with Busy B. How he beat Busy B in the battle.
You know, there's like nobody on that list. Nobody. From Juice WRLD was on it. Like including Big Daddy.
That's a shame.
But I feel like that was on purpose.
Yes. Yeah. No. Biz Marquis' Juice Crew.
Yeah.
But Roxanne Shantae's Juice Crew, and she's not on it. But UTFO is. But we remember Roxanne Revenge.
Put Big Daddy Kane's on there?
That's crazy. You don't got Cool G Rap on there?
Was Marty Marl on there? No.
Well, Marty Marl was a producer.
But he was part of Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
So he put up there. He was vocals. On and Juice WRLD. He wasn't by himself.
Yeah, he was the main producer.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, but
no
he
EPM.
would say stuff, but you know.
No EPMD.
Nope. could have put De La Soul on it.
No, damn, De La's not on it.
No.
No Tribe Called Quest either.
No, we put Loops on it, but
You
I
got
would like
Boogie
to
Boys,
see-
but no Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul.
I would have liked to see what he thought about Big Daddy.
I would. With Big Daddy Kane should have been like right under Rakim. No Big Daddy Kane, but Jay-Z's on. Kind of weird.
He had Cass on it.
Yeah, Razzcast, but no Big Daddy Kane. What the fuck? He had Cannabis on there.
But, I mean, it just goes. I feel like with him, and then I've seen other people's report cards before. Like, a lot of times they don't do the report cards based off of what you're supposed to. You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Because he had technically had two report cards, and it was 2 pages, and you couldn't put certain people on it that were major, even during the time that you were out.
Yeah.
Just
Pretty much.
so I mean, it's really, to me, I feel like even at his age now, he's still hollering some things.
San Francisco just scored. The Rams.
They needed to, but I just need them to lose.
17-13. Cooper Cup again. That dude was sick. Triple Crown winning for the NFL wide receiver, most catches, most yards, and most receiving touchdowns.
13 minutes. That's still a lot of time left.
His wife was supporting him on his dream to get into the NFL, and we're doing crazy. Named Cooper Cup.
Name what?
Cooper Cup. White dude.
He trying not to laugh.
Lead the NFL in reception.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, let's get ready to wind this down. CP3, you got anything?
Tune in tomorrow night as always. Sports and Hill Podcast, episode 258. We're breaking down the Caps week that was, breaking down the championship games. Excuse me. And the Wizards week that was, see if they can get out of this downward spiral that they're in. Like I said, tune in. We got some things in the works. I'm reaching out to some of the connections I made to see if we can get some nice interviews lined up on the show. Trying to expand. Got a couple of folks that reach out to get us on some different platforms. So I'm communicating with them right now. Saying it's good for me. I might make it work. If you're looking for a new vehicle, come on down to the Waldorf Honda, 2450 Train Highway. Last day of the month. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. Come on down, holler, and see if we can make that thing happen for 2450 Train Highway, Waldorf Honda. Hey, man, yeah, self-promotion is key, man.
Good credit, no credit, bad
Yeah,
credit.
we make that thing happen, baby. Come on down
I thought you was about to bust around for a second.
Get me started.
Don't let Kumo be here. He
Oh,
knows
shit.
where he gonna go.
Hey, fuck Kumo. How you see it, damn?
129th, 129th Street. Something.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it happen. It's a funny thing. Smack some answer.
Wait, what?
Monitor the list.
Y'all ladies, watch out.
It's a simple life.
Simple life.
Yeah, smack some ass, stay out of trouble, go to work.
You know, like, you can't do that no more, right?
You can't Cooper Jr. good in
You
it.
can't just walk around smacking people's
I
rear
just say
end
random ass.
Oh.
Have some ass that you can have. on
that
there.
you are
That's-
allowed to see.
Yeah,
Like,
just
she
some
gave
people
you
get assault
permission.
charges.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, you never know with you.
You,
I mean-
you gotta be specific.
I don't just go smacking random asses.
I hope
Have you not?
I have before, but I don't.
Okay,
do it
then.
That's something I do on a regular.
anymore.
What you used to?
Alcohol was normally be involved in that.
Was it tequila?
No, I was thinking no. It was normally a mixing of alcohol.
You just sweating having a refill. Yeah.
Mixed drinks.
Don't give me, I didn't mix up none of your drinks.
Yeah.
Nigga, all we had was beer this week.
I know.
Why y'all ain't open? For sure.
I don't know. I ain't a big fan of rum. I drink it. I
don't know. I just didn't open it. I was sipping this beer.
It's so pretty.
It's been a long week, and the beer was just doing what it was supposed to. What you got going on, Lady Antoinette?
Much, not yet. I do want to make an announcement. My daughter got. What you mean? I'm just so proud. I'm a proud mom. My daughter, who graduated from high school in 2020, will receive her bachelor's degree July of 2022.
Dang.
Right. So she's an accelerated program, so she's going to have her bachelor's in 22 months. So that's really cool.
Do she sleep? Shit.
No. she really doesn't sound ahead of life.
I mean, the celebrated program, like this work.
And it's like she didn't have kids get like a long summer break.
Yeah.
She would get to week. So
and she purposely did this to herself.
I mean, real talk, if she wants to continue with the master's program, it's 12 months. So, like, let's say she goes straight through 3 years, she'll have her master's.
Shit.
I mean, her friends are going to be 4 years bachelor's,
Yeah.
So, that's good. She'll have leg up on other people her age. Because even if she stops and goes into the workforce, that's 2 years in the workforce. So, she'll have on top of anyone else her age.
Yeah.
20 and having your bachelor's.
Hell yeah.
Proud mama. My son's still trying to work until then.
Dang, once he starts flying, you gonna have to beat them chicks off with a stick.
He flies it. Actually, is it next week? Next week.
Think about it. He says, "I can take you higher, baby." That's a whole new meaning.
Yeah, his flight. He has another flight coming up soon.
So I do have a nice announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be I talked about this before. It's been pushed back, but the date's supposed to be February 12th.
Mm-hmm.
On the app is Spinwax Radio. And basically through Spinwax has the license. So that if we play your music and it's properly registered, you'll be credited for it. However, with new situations come another new situations. We will start doing after the 12th. We'll start doing promotional package, which means basically, if you want us to play your stuff, then you'll basically pay for it. And the promotional package will include the show on Spinwax and then the regular show. There's different ones for videos and stuff like that. And then if you want additional play on like one of CP3 shows, then you have to cough up some bread because we've been doing this free for a very long time. And if we're doing it free, then we're gonna play what we want. So pretty soon where it says email this, that's about to be replaced with the packaging list. And you can contact any one of us, about that. But because we do help a lot, we do break a lot of records, and we do help a lot of people. But it's just funny because the next time we do a review show, instead of just doing a review and getting hate, like you can disagree with my opinion if you're sending me at least $10 to review your music. Like, you disagree. But if I'm doing this for free, shut the fuck up and take my advice. That's just how I feel. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I probably still gonna tell you how I feel too. I just
constructive criticism, but it's still gonna be true.
I might be a little bit more nicer, but no, I ain't gonna lie though. His shit's trash. I'm gonna tell you, his shit's trash. To be honest, but I can't. That's just my nature. I still can't. I will always remember the one dude sent us a track. We all said it was a B-side cut. And he was like, "It sounds like y'all are hating. Hating on what, motherfucker?"
Absolutely. Just keep on thinking.
Like, you sent us the music and then hit us about reviewing it. That shit was hilarious. Wasn't nobody hating. That cut was weak. Like, actually, the song was actually good. Except, okay, it was okay. However, it would have been better if your dumbass would have got a rapper to rap on instead of you trying and sounding very horrible. Or better yet, it was a neo soul song. What the fuck did you need to rap for anyway? You dumb bastard. Who, me?
Oh, shout out to Facebook who decided to limit what I can put on my page earlier today. It was a hot second. Disagreed with it. Remove that little block.
Oh, yeah, you know. The algorithms be fucking
No,
with
they
you.
was like, no, you can't do it. You can't post and share or something.
What the hell did you put?
That's why I hit disagree. That's how it is.
And we're just gonna play a song. What song do I wanna play?
Where your bitch at?
There you go.
I knew you would say that part.
That's how you feel.
You always feel that way.
He acting weird. Oh, let's everybody get out.
Oh yeah, let me say this before as we make this movement and we grow, right? I want y'all to understand something. Don't come to us later and be like, you know, I want to be cool with y'all again. Like, if you hate me now, cool. Keep that same fucking energy. Because when I'm at peace, I'm a very peaceful person. But when I'm an asshole, I am me.
One by one, when you at peace?
When I'm asleep.
Terrible.
Am I really? I think I'm a very peaceful person when I'm asleep. Yeah, that joint sound like something came out you. You need to call the ambulance.
It was a leaf.
It was a what?
A leaf.
Imagine water leaf.
You know.
That's what he got going on over there.
You know something.
That's what you ain't see him sitting here looking stuck for a second.
I know the look.
They didn't even hear you on.
Yeah.
Hey, Ross.
Yeah.
Cut off. Oh my god.
See the world getting colder, mine getting older. Do you ever think about everybody's drama and come back with karma? And that's just pain. When life looking down, always a drain. Weight on your shoulders, everything starts to change. You scared cause you think they'll never be same. And that's just pain. When living this life, it always be pain. Hopefully last one night, and that's just pain. Everything be alright when you going through pain. And that's just my temper be pushing my limits. Mama be stressing when I get the visit. Cause I'm late with the rent and I haven't repaired, I need better decisions. I've been buzzing my ass, trying to get cash, the Lord me some pain, it's getting harder just to tell him I miss him. No matter what, we never perfect, and I'm always gonna forgive him. So now with the talking, you getting exhausted and just start to listen. Don't kick when I'm falling, cause I put my all in to get to some riches. Nothing will be the same, like a spent bill, people change. Expect the most from a nigga, even when I say keep the change. Need more time with my sister, but too many people speaking name. I'm working hard, man, I'm catching blisters, and it's starting to hurt when it rains. Don't mind me, I'm going through it, sweat it off when I just go to a show. They interest me, I'm known to it, that's just how it goes. I don't know how to deal with it, popping all of these pills with it. Reason, man, I don't still get it. And that's just pain. When life looking down, always in the train. Weight on your shoulders, everything starts to change. You scared cause you think you'll never be the same. And that's just pain. When living this life, it always be pain. Hopefully last one night, and that's just pain. Everything be alright when you're going through pain. And that's just